Yo, what's up, guys? We are live. We are live. So, for those of you that are tuning in afterwards and you're not here during the live, welcome to the channel. We should be having some nice conversations with Reverend Rips, which I had here before, talking about grading. He's been wanting to hop on the channel and just he has some insight and he wants to share it. So, when he does show up, if he is aware that I'm live right now, because I did message him, hopefully he's not too busy. When he does pop up, we can get into it with that. But yeah, guys, what is up? You guys, I love this though. Like I love the way that everything's happening. You're eating some bomb chicken. Why are you eating a bomb? Oh my god. These two are gonna be the catalysts of the chat. They're gonna be the chat catalysts, bringing the energy. What's the blue shield mean? Oh, that's because he is a mod. It's cool as that. I made him a mod. Karma's been here for a while, so I know that eventually I'm gonna need somebody to help out with the channel, like with the chat, you know. So I made a few guys that had already been here for a long time mods. He was one, Reverend Rips, and I think I might have made one more person a mod. I'm not sure, maybe just two. I'm not 100% on that. But that's what the blue shield is. And of course, StreamYard again with the fail of not showing the emojis. Wow, I gotta change my name. Look about with this name. A little bit, but it's cool. It's cool. You don't gotta do nothing crazy. This was a given name on YouTube. All right. Concept, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in. Roy the Collector, welcome to the channel. I think this is the first time I've seen your name on here. If not, I apologize, but I think it is. But welcome. Funny how Phantasmal shot up to 450 a box just like that. Kevin, what is up, brother? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Roxy, what's going on, man? What is up? There you go. Roxy was the other mod. He's been here for a good while too. I thought you could get items. I was like, I want a sword. Oh my god, you're too funny. Adro, what is up, man? How you guys doing? Yeah, the last few days, I mean, you guys have seen all these market videos. Things have been crazy, right? One of the guys in the Discord was letting us know that, you know, there was some buyouts happening, you know, and apparently some of those are fake. They're not legit. I guess the sales aren't going through. So that's that, which is funny. Silver Tempest almost to 500. I am actually, let me see. Oops. What did I do there? I'm actually currently looking at a Silver Tempest booster box. I want to get a Silver Tempest box. Just start little by little, like accumulating them before they take off. I've been talking about them for a while for a reason, so I do want to start picking some up. Just overall, when it comes to Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, and Fusion Strike, the only thing is that it makes it that much harder to spend on Fusion Strike because they're $1,000 a box. Even though I am currently looking at one. I did get myself a Lost Origin booster box. You know, I think I remember making a video on one of my market analysis videos, and somebody said, well, I had said, you know, don't be afraid to make an offer, right? The listings you go to, they say best offer, or they just say buy it now, right? So to me, it's like, what does it hurt to try, you know? And just to show you guys, let's see, let's see, just make sure that it doesn't give up too much information. It kind of does a little bit. So let's minimize this. Where is this? Does it show it? I want to see if it shows it. I saw somewhere it shows where, let's see. So I can at least show you this. One sec. Share at the stage. Here we are. So I bought this box, guys. I bought this Lost Origin booster box. It was at 724. Made an offer to 700. Accepted. It was accepted. If I go back real quick, you can see right here it says 700. That was the offer I had made. So the offer went through. He took the offer. So just to say, like, whenever you guys do want to purchase something, especially if it's a little expensive, maybe try to offer. Like, why not? It's at any point, at any given time, that product of whatever kind you're looking at is not going to be the only one of its kind. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I would always at least make an attempt. I am looking at a Silver Tempest booster box. Made an offer. It's at 500. I made an offer. He turned it down. I'll show you guys that as well. You can see that there. It says it in red. Turned down the offer at 475. It's at 500. It does give you like recommendations. It recommended I offer him 480, but it also comes with the acrylic. So that's nice as well. I do like the acrylic, even though it's not the exact acrylic I have. This is I do have one of these. You can see the top, it's like squared. It has like the bottom of these booster boxes have an insert so they could stack on top and like not slide left and right, which is not bad. Just as a top, whenever you have that top box, it looks ugly. But aside from that, it's still protection for the box. So I do like it. The box looks like pretty minty, actually. Like if you look at the images. So it's not a bad deal either. Like it's a minty box. The top is not even popped in. Like that happens often, and it's not even popped in. It's not popped in. Very nice box with an acrylic for 500. And if we go to TCG Player, which I didn't have open yet, which I usually do, I was running late, had a phone call. I think Silver Tempest is climbing to 500. I think it was at like 460, but lowest listed was like 5 something. Here we go. Look, see, 471.94 plus $15 shipping. So that's that. Was there shipping on that one? I don't even see the shipping here. Where's the shipping? Any shipping? $8, $8.67 shipping. So still better on my end. Most recently sold 550. Not too many being bought as of late. This shows something in the last 3 days, 12. But we see it here. Look, this one is 486. This one's basically 500, 500. So if I can get it for 480 with $8 shipping, and I can already see the condition of the box with an acrylic, I'm really buying the box. If I offer him 480 and he takes it, and with the acrylic, I'm really paying like 460, somewhere from 455 to 460. So I'm looking at that box. I'm gonna make him another offer, and hopefully that works out. So just a thing, because I know that I made a video. It was a market analysis video, and I mentioned something about doing that, and somebody went in the comment section, oh, I know a few people, or I think he was trying to say you could risk losing out on the deal. Well, guess what? There's other booster boxes out there. There are many others. Just, take your time to look for the one you want. As I have, like I was looking at this for a good while last night, and not only that, today, like I'm looking just for good quality boxes. Like these are more expensive items, so I want a crispy box. Like there are several. Like even though this one doesn't have an acrylic, right here, for example, very nice box, right? Like it is really nice. Can't complain. Look how squared that is. $9 shipping, no acrylic. This is a buy it now. I mean, actually, you can make an offer as well. So I could offer this guy 480 if I wanted to with no acrylic. Still a good buy. I get to see what it is, which is one of the bigger deals, in my opinion, that like matter. So I'm looking into the Sword and Shield stuff. Like I mentioned before, I'm not trying to FOMO into any of the things that got bought out, which are actually the cases. Like the Lost Origin cases got bought out. Did Silver Tempest cases get bought out? I just want to double check. Can't remember. Let me look at the comments real quick before I continue. Pokebunks, what's going on, brother? Welcome. I noticed the Ascended singles went down a little, but in time, I believe it's going to climb again. Gengar, yeah. Well, so the Gengar, I think there were some like fake sales or something like that. Let me just look at it myself. I think on TCG Player, I saw somebody posted on Instagram that let me contact Rev, because I think shoot me a link. Oh, yeah, he's gonna hop on. He is gonna hop on. So let's just get that link prepared for him. Okay. Oh, I think it was the other browser anyways. Where are we? Oh man, sorry guys. Let me just send him this link because he's gonna appear on here. So all right, I sent him that link. All right. So yeah, the singles of Ascended Heroes, right? I'm pretty sure I saw somebody post a picture of the Gengar. Apparently there were sales at like 280, 420, like something wild. And it was pulling it back. I don't know, something weird. I hope TCG player, here it is. I hope TCG player does step in after a while because it's a little odd the way they do this. So sometimes they don't like rectify the things that go bad. Like look at this chart. Look what it's doing. And it pulled it back to 818. But then if you looked at the sales, you had like 543. I don't know why that's even mixed in there as Korean. But there were others. Are they gone? Okay, so TCG player did step in. They were like $420 sales, $280 sales, and like a good amount of them. So yeah, some of them might pull back, and for sure we're gonna pull back because we have gotten product come to the market. So that's a thing. Well, all right, guys. Reverend Rips. I'm gonna keep reading the comments. Reverend Rips is here though, so letting him in now. What's going on, Rev?
Not much. What's going on, my brother?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling.
Hey, just got a little Gengar for you.
Oh my god, man! I have my Gengar tank top that I absolutely love, and I can't find it. But I just, you know what it is? I need to buy more. Anyways, there's like these sleeveless shirts that I really like. Like there's a Mew one. It's really cool. So I love the stuff, man. I really do.
How's
yeah,
your day?
so we were
How's
here.
your day been?
What's up?
How's your day been?
My day was actually really good. I had a pretty laid back day. So yeah, I can't complain. Good day.
So I'm here for about an hour or so. So
You got an hour today. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Did you get the message that had all of those different plays for
on
grading?
Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. I sent that to you.
Yes, I saw it.
And let me start. First of all, good day to everyone. I'm in Texas, just to let you all know. But I wanted to jump back on to follow up our last grading discussion, and it really centers around what are you trying to accomplish when it comes to grading. If you're grading for just pleasure, if you're grading for PC, you can pretty much use anybody. I mean, it's your choice. You may like a slab of tag or BGS, CGC, PSA, ACE, whatever that you choose. But I have to admit, if you are grading for value, you have to figure out a strategy to use PSA. There's no other more liquid slab, and you're going to have to bite the bullet and say, hey, I know it's going to take a while for me to get the cards back. And that's why it's very important to be very strategic with what you send, because there are some characters that just sell. I mean, there are some characters that are just going to sell if you stick with your main characters. Jay knows this. Right now, I'm buying up as much Rayquaza stuff as I can, looking for clean copies of things, because that Rayquaza set is going to be probably a better set than Perfect Order, than Chaos Rising, than Pitch Black. And so so I'm kind of getting ahead of the game, trying to find clean copies of Rayquaza. In fact, Jay, I sent him a picture. I picked up an HGA Rayquaza from Evolving Sky that was a rainbow rare, and my plans are to crack it and send it to PSA once I get it in hand. But PSA is the most liquid. You're going to make your most money on PSA slabs, and that's one of the reasons why I use the grade to consignment. Grade to consignment with PC Sports Card. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. They just are the service that I use. And I have the PSA app. I look at cards that are very inexpensive, but if you can get them in the 10, that was one that I sent Jay. That's $30 raw. but it's $350 in a 10. You just have to know what you're doing from the perspective of what I want to accomplish. The biggest thing that I had to learn when doing this grade to consignment was I could not think like a collector. I had to think like a business person. It's not about what I want. It's about what the community wants, what the hobby wants. And there are a lot of cards out there that people are not sending in to grade that, if you're sourcing, if you find a place to source the cards and get really clean copies, you can do very, very well, and really pay for your hobby by actually doing grade to consignment, whatever company you use. But I wanted to get that out because I know last time we talked a little bit about tag, we talked a little bit about CGC, we talked a little about PSA, but you have to decide exactly what you want to accomplish when it comes down to grading.
Right. So one thing that I was going to ask you, for everyone here, and let's say including even myself, where do you start? And I think for some people, for example, like I think this might be this grading thing in general, overall, the way that you're talking about it now, like as almost like a business, makes sense for a lot of people. It should resonate with many more than you realize, or maybe I realize, because just like this, we have some comment, right? Matthew Pedrodi says, "What's up, Jay? Thinking about camping out at Best Buy on the 22nd to get Chaos Rising at MSRP. Your thoughts, and what else should I look to get with not a big budget?" Well, now, just part of that, great, yeah, get MSRP Chaos Rising if you can. Of course, somebody already mentioned Prismatic is a great buy. It's going to rotate out in a year. Outside of that, the fact that you don't have a big budget can become a mediocre budget and then somewhat a bigger budget if you do some of the things that Rev could be talking about, like grading to consignment. Like when he says grade to consignment, this is something where the slab doesn't even reach him. It goes straight from PSA to the consignment service, whichever one it is that he's using, and it just gets sold. Forget about like the price, whatever it sells at. I think you could set a limit, right? How the minimum.
Yeah, you can if you want. I just let it, and that's because of the cards that I'm sending. I just had 34 cards that finished, that I pretty much pulled or sourced at my LCS, and the lowest one sold for $53. So in that particular card, I had $7 for purchasing it. And at that time, it was only $17. So I was $24 into the card. It sold for $57. So I made some money. It paid for that particular grading. But you do that over and over. The nines, if you pick the right cards, this is what is beautiful right now about this bull market. We all know it's going to be 3 to 4 months before you actually get your cards back. That's just a given. That's all the stuff about 10 days, 15. Even if you send something express, it's not going to be 15 days. I send everything bulk. I send everything bulk. That means 3 to 4 months down the road. But what I send are cards that even in a 9, I can make money. And that's the beauty of this bull market. You may send a card right now that you say, well, man, if it gets a 10, I'm doing really good. But if it's a 9, well, I had some cards that if it got a 9 when I sent them, I was going to lose money. But by the time they went through the system, the market just boomed and people started looking for those. A 9 in TCG is different from a 9 in sports. TCG, everything in TCG is based on near mint, which is basically an 8. So a 9 is a high quality card, and there are a lot of people who want to buy those 9s. They may crack them, put them in their sets. They might crack them and resend them. Once I send it in, I'm not thinking about cracking and resending. I'm not paying
going through that stress.
Double grading. I'm just that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to accomplish. And so if you're thinking about it, like right now, I have.
Well, you're holding up capital that way. Not only you're going to be into the card the first initial grade cost, and then you're going to be into it again with another risk that it might come back to a 9 again. Not worth it.
And I think that's the real beauty about what I do with PC sports cards. The only money that I actually have out of pocket up front is how much the card cost, the shipping and packaging to send to him. Typically that costs me about $27 in shipping. I think once I package and everything, the most I'm out of pocket usually is $50 to $60. And then once I send that all to him, I don't ever touch that card again. Whatever it comes back, I go into my I have a dashboard. When that submission comes in, I go into my dashboard, I click the boxes, and they immediately send them to grade. And PC Sports Card has such a huge following that the eyes that they get on their auctions, and that's key. You need to have an auction house. PC Sports Card, I know there are others that people are promoting. You just need a lot of traffic there so that they can see your cards, and people will trust them more so than a person starting up. You don't really have a lot of experience. They are not trusting. You haven't developed your reputation. You already knock all of that out by doing this grade to consignment that I do.
Right. Real quick, I'm going to have a follow-up question for you. I just want to answer this guy because it's a good question and it's falling behind. Pokedu was asking, what do you think about Pokémon saying about selling sealed because when it gets expensive, it will be harder to sell? I started investing in 2024. I think it's kind of accurate. I mean, but not so. So it's accurate in the sense if you're trying to sell it yourself. If you are someone who doesn't have connections of any kind, if you don't know bigger names that can afford to even purchase your item, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to list it maybe on eBay and just hope that somebody finds you and buys it. Or maybe on Facebook Marketplace. That'll be even harder, I think, because I don't think people with those deep pockets or big wallets are even looking on Facebook Marketplace. So you're going to have to use the last and best option, which is not do it yourself, and send it to consignment. And then they can sell it off for you. So I think you'd be fine. For example, Karma always talks about Probostine. Karma hates Probostine, all the shady stuff that they've done. But if you send it to them, it would still sell. They have a huge following. People buy from them all the time. Same thing as Arizona TCG and DC Sports Cards or whatever it is on eBay or Sports, I think. If you cannot sell it yourself, which would mean that you could avoid some fees, either way, take that loss on those fees. It's okay. Losing that freaking 12% on if you've been holding since 2024, that means that your percentage gains have been insane, which means that losing 10% of that already inflated, maybe 800% is nothing.
Right.
Don't get greedy on that 12%. That's what I want to say. But just to tackle that question on real quick, you do have an option, which is consignment. If you're going to sell it yourself and you don't have a following, it may be a little harder. Like for example, myself, I am starting to develop more and more connections because of this YouTube channel. Like I've been talking to like 4 or 5 YouTubers at different times, and just people that reach out that want to help and are knowledgeable in the space. That's why. So hope that helps.
Let me say it's the same thing with sealed. It's the same thing with big slabs. If you go to a small card show, the likelihood is, even if you're vending, the likelihood of having $1,000 slabs in your case, the likelihood they're not going to sell. You're going to have to go to a major card show where people who have the capital who are looking for that. Same thing with sealed. I have a pretty significant sealed collection along with my slabs. And when I'm ready to sell it, I know I can go to the Dallas Card Show or Shreveport Card Show, and there are people who have the capital that are looking. For instance, and Jay knows this already, I have a significant holding in the 151 mini 10 displays. 151 packs, or I was in the card show and a 10 was $50. That's 2 packs. $50. Well, I have 70 10s. So if I go to a Dallas Card Show and I sell them. They say, well, we'll give you 42 per 10 or 40 per 10. Well, I'm in the 10 for $10.
That's a win-win for you and the person buying. That's a win-win for both of you. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to have that like high level of greed where some people want every single percentage. You develop connections. If you happen to be a vendor, you will develop a connection with people. They will come back to you. Like it's just the way it is. People like that. Somebody did bring up GameStop about grading. I don't know. Do you grade with GameStop at all?
I've graded with GameStop one time because my son had some cards he wanted to grade, and actually he got a 10. He got upcharged, which is fine. But I don't grade with GameStop, and let me tell you why. This is why I don't grade with GameStop. If I grade with GameStop, I have to pay them up front. If I use PC Sports Cards, I don't pay them till the end. That is a major player of why grade to consignment works. And that's why PSA is such a juggernaut, because when you send cards to them, you don't have to pay your submission costs. So you could send 200 cards in. You don't have to come up with that money right up front. You don't get paid until have to pay until the end, until the sub. That is amazing. I guarantee if you had to pay up front sending to PSA, they would not be grading the amount of cards they're grading right now.
Right. I do agree with this comment right here. PSA 9s are undervalued. I think so, because they could be near mint. This means the card has absolutely no damage whatsoever in the slightest. Like mint, not near mint. It could be mint, and just because it's a little off center, it's a 9, and the quality of the card is there, just not the cut. And I think PSA 9s should be above raw value, and it's not. It's typically the same. But human psychology is what determines the prices on these, and human psychology likes 10s, and we can't fight it. I wish we could, but it is what it is. He had a follow-up question. I can sell at local market or LGS around me, and I'm planning for a long-term hold. I was just wondering why sell if it's getting expensive, if the goal is to invest for 5 to 10 years. Well, I think he was trying to be helpful. I don't think anybody is really up for like the challenges in the long run when it comes to selling. If you want to sell for yourself, it is a challenge. Like if you have multiple items, you'll have to get used to doing this stuff on eBay the way it works. You have to know the ins and outs. You're gonna have to open up your own site if you really want to have your own site. But you're gonna have to work if you want to do it yourself. I think that's really what he was getting at, because you can always, like I said, get to consignment, send to them, and they'll sell it for you. If you are able, even with the older stuff, sell to like your LGS. I mean, if it works out for you that way, because it's still expensive. These LGSs, like if you went to them and let's say you sold to them at the so-called top, let's just say, and you sold them a Destiny Rivals booster box for $6K, or you tried to, like, will they buy it? I don't know. I don't know your LGS, but I can see I can see it playing out in a way where they're like, no, that's too expensive for us. We're gonna have to take it out of percentage because we need to make money on it, And then either way, it's just as much as sending to consignment, and having them do all the work for you. But either way, whatever works out for you best, if that's what it is for you.
And I think the other thing you can do with your seal, and I agree with Pokey and E on that, from the perspective of it's not hard to sell when you get higher. Your group of people gets smaller. So now you have, instead of having 1,000 people who would potentially buy, you may now have 100 people that potentially will buy. It's just the size of the people who have the pockets, and a lot of times that's what hinders. I mean, it works the same way with slabs. Once a slab gets into those 3, 4, 5K areas, the average person is not going to just go to a card show and just drop 5K. But there are some people with big pockets that will. And so, like today, I went to the card shop. Tonight is my son and I, we break packs. My son's 32, and we break packs together. And so Thursday night, and so I went to the card show and I offloaded a lot of EXs and illustration rares that were great cards. They just didn't fit what I was trying to do, and I wound up having $123 worth of store credit, and they had That's the Rival pin collections for 60 a piece. I bought two of them. Basically, those cards paid for that. Though that, and so when I walked out, I had some other cards that I picked up, but those were cards to grade. And so you can use cards.
Oh, we lost him for a second. I'll get to the comments till he gets back. I don't know what happened there. He'll contact me in a second, most likely. Is he back? Is he not? Let's see if it just pops back in. Hopefully he does. DJ's Poke Center, what is up, man? Thank you for stopping by. He's always shouting me out. All right, thank you. Is there a Pokemon game where Oak using the toilet? Just wondering, like, maybe does he have diarrhea? Oh my god. You don't have there's no scene where anyone uses the toilet in Pokemon. You don't see any of them. Does PC Sport Cards upcharge? I don't think so. He likes them. He's been talking about them for a while, actually. Thank you. Appreciate you both takes. No problem, man. Of course. This is what we're here for. Just giving different perspectives. We're looking at different ways of how to tackle things. Snack Bread, what's going on, brother? Welcome back. Thank you for stopping by. Pack Hype Collective, has anybody noticed, and are you as pissed as I am that TCG Player doesn't allow you to save your sealed products in a list anymore? All you can do is look up the price, and that's it. I didn't realize that, actually. I actually don't buy on TCG Player. I don't buy on them because I don't like how TCG Player is. I'm going to have to contact Rev in a sec. Get him back on at some point. I don't like how TCG Player has a hold on market price, like, at all. I think that it's a little bit of a scam in a sense because it doesn't represent the whole hobby, but the hobby takes that and like it just runs with that price, you know, and I don't understand it. I hate it, actually. So that's the reason why I tried to stay away from buying on TCG Player. I just use it as a point of reference to see where people are at when it comes to the market price. Are they above it? Are they below? At least, because eventually, since they love it, since people love following that as market so much, you gotta eventually just gotta work with it, you know. So I try to find myself in a position where maybe I can find some deals and then do that. This is what we talk about all the time. If I can see something working out in a certain way where I benefit or I can save some cash, or you guys can, I talk about it here. I think that's really what we should be doing, right? I brought up many things in my past video. For example, hold on, just writing to him right quick. See if he's coming back. He'll let me know, I guess. I don't know what happened with him. What was I saying? So yeah, like this last video, we spoke about many things. We spoke about some Ascended Heroes, pack per price items that were good. The Mega EX boxes surprised me live in the video. I guess I confused the pack per price with the deluxe pin collection ones, and so there was a good pack per price there. And so, just for example, those are good deals, which I want to pick up a few of those because eventually we're seeing that this pack per price with Ascended Heroes is just going bonkers. Like, it's like more product came to the market with the booster bundles, and we keep getting these Mega EX boxes, and the pack per price just continues to be crazy. And so now you have to start making these plays where it just makes sense, where maybe you can move it later on because it makes sense, like ripping shippers or just anybody trying to find value within your product, like whatever you've picked up. I'm trying to find the pack per price, and I don't even see it here. Here it is. So it did pull back now to $12.50. So we'll have to see if this, right? We'll have to see if this correlates with all the other collection boxes. Are they going to pull back because this had a dramatic pullback? Because typically this is what's happening, right? The boxes were at like 1462, like you're seeing there, and then you saw a whole bunch of these collection boxes that I shouted out get really, really expensive. Like this one, I have 154. So this one now has a less value at this price point because the pack price is now at $12. So we'll have to see how it happens. What, like, you'll have to wait for these days for some of these items, sorry, to pull back. And so, you make plays as they come. So that's what we're trying to do here. But I don't buy on TCG Player for that reason. Like, I hate that I can make a purchase. Like, I don't think it's right that I can go to the most expensive listing and let's say if there's a Desert Rivals booster box listed at $10,000 and I bought it, I promise you it's going to have a dramatic impact on that market price. And for that reason, I hate how TCG Player functions. And Rev is back. All right, guys, he's back. So, just going back to where we were, I did want to ask you because, are you here? Okay, it went away.
I don't know why I'm not. I don't know. Let me see if.
What's good, Jay? Glad I caught another live. He just he said, "Let me see," and he just he's having some technical difficulties, I guess, on his side. Glad I caught another live. I love the content, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Keep it up yourself, man. This is what it takes. It just takes consistency, and eventually, hopefully, it pays off for us. All right, we're back again.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
For some reason, the camera's not working, but it was working before I had to switch devices. For those who don't know, I'm actually a pastor, and so I had to take a call from a
it's all right. I thought something just dropped. Real quick, this guy, is it just me or will Phantasmal Flames be the best set in the future from this era? Well, we're not done with the era. We still have the Rayquaza one. We still have rumored sets for Gen 3. Ruby like Sapphire one, which would be insane. Was that Gen 3? I think I'm correct on that. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be confusing the gens. I'd be stupid too, but yeah, we don't know what's happening. And Ascended Heroes is clearly way better than Phantasmal. If you're talking about booster boxes, the Charizard is a beast, of course, but I still think Mega Evolution Base is better as a set overall, to be honest. I think you just flipped your camera, Rev, I think. Okay. Pokeplane says, I know very little about the grading scene, so this is very helpful. Going back to this, I just wanted to, you said a lot about grading, so I want to go back to something that can help somebody like Pokeplane. Okay. Where do you start? How do you start? Like, budget wise, maybe if somebody has $100 a week, that they can put into maybe some singles, so they could start this churning and burning thing and start profiting from it. Where do you recommend that they start if somebody hasn't done it before and has a small budget? And then, of course, everybody else who has a bigger budget, you can just multiply that and work with it. So,
well, first of all, budget is critically important. I don't know how many card shops you have. I don't know how many shows you have in your area, but I happen to have one specific card shop that does not grade. They say it takes too long. So I basically get some of the best cards out there. In fact, I went there and I got 4 sets of Gen 1 first partner. Yeah. All of them are, 3 of them are already at 2 at PSA, 1 at CGC. But this is what I recommend. Download the PSA app first. Number 1, download the PSA apps and start by looking at cards that are $5 or less. So it may be a promo. I would recommend looking at reverse hollows because you can find low pop cards. Jay already knew this, like the 151 reverse hollow for Gengar. In a PSA 10, that card is a $600 card. It only costs right now about $5 to $7. Now, remember, the gem rate on it is only 15%. And so when you're getting into grading to consignment, churning and burning, number 1, you have to know how to look at your cards. You have to really know how to look at your cards, and you have to factor in the fact if you're going to send, if you have $100, so is that $100 just for cards or the amount that you can spend every week? Because you have to factor in the fact that if you're going to do grading, PSA costs $26 a card. So you have to. So if you have a $5 card, that card basically going in is a $30 card because you have to factor in the cost of grading, the cost of sending it off. So you have to be very mindful. If you only have $100, you may not be able to send 10 cards. You may only be able to send 2 or 3, but make sure you pick the right 2 or 3. What I typically recommend is start with the smaller cards because when the buy-in is low, your risk reward, you're covered on both sides. It's a low risk, high reward. But let's say you go in and take that $100 and take 75 of that and buy 1 card. Well, man, if I get this in a 10, it's a $1,000 card. How likely is that if you haven't sourced it from a place that doesn't grade? I'm not going to say you can't find gradable cards at shows because you can, but you likely are not going to find the big dollar cards that are ready to grade. So, and I mentioned this last time I was on the live just talking, you need to start looking at TCG player sorting from lowest to highest. Because most of the time when you see TCG player, when you see, I mean, even with Jay, you have the big name cards that are up there. But the big name cards have a built-in risk. You're spending a lot of money. For instance, if you buy the Trikachu, it's a $1,200 card. Yes, if you can get it at a 10, it's 4K. But you're investing $1,000 hoping that you can get a 10. If you reversed order, like I've been ripping perfect order, and I have ripped, and I'm buying Clefairy, I'm buying Dedenne, I'm buying low dollar cards that are popular Pokemon characters. If you're just starting out, stick with the popular characters.
So what's funny is that you just said that even with me, I have the bigger name cards. But what's funny is that I had a list, which I'm looking at right here. You can see I actually have a list. Can you see it? Yeah. So I had cards actually that I wanted to show off. Not it wasn't even for the stream. I just didn't know where it was, like when I was going to do it. But I wanted to talk about some cards that could be really affordable and could do well for you. For example, like this Arcanine promo. This Arcanine promo. 337. Once again, it doesn't have condition, but it is not a new card. I'm sorry, it's not an old card. It's rather new. It's been out since July 2024. So you're going to find many mint or near mint copies. You just have to worry about centering. But at a 10, you can turn some probably like a $5 card to $205 currently. That's like a thing. Like that's what he's talking about. Like this is probably a Cosmos Hollow, Black Star promo, Arcanine, which is very popular Pokemon, of course. That multiple is insane, guys.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. That 5 to 205 is insane. Of course, you're going to add in your grading cost, but just keeping that in mind. Cards like these, this Charizard promo that we all saw a lot of, I probably didn't care so much for. If you paid, let's say if it's $8, because this is, like I said, this doesn't include condition. It's $220 in a PSA 10 for this card, right? Eevee, same thing. Let's say it's a $7 card because, like I said, same thing. PSA 10, $153. Just a few examples. I have others, but just to go tap into like what we're talking about here, like you don't have to go and look for the SIR in I don't know, Ascended Heroes, like the biggest cards. That's not the only play. Like there are many. And we spoke about actually Ascended Heroes, because everybody wants to rip it. All these smaller cards tend to do well. Like these are like in their 20s, But like this is my favorite one. This is by far, I put it in my last video, a rather cheap card still, more expensive than the others, but dropped down to $13. $353 in a 10. You guys see that, right? $353 in a 10, and it's $12. I freaking love this card, by the way. I just actually like that card. But just think about that. Turning 12 into $353. And you could keep doing this with many cards if you're ripping, and these are cards that you're not going to love and you don't want to keep in your collection, or if you go to shows or you go wherever and you go pick up these cards, eBay, wherever it is, you know, of course, take your time looking. But there's so many little cards here that'll probably do really, really well. We have the Charizard, right? This Charizard right here, 340. It's early, right? But and it's only an EX, but it's selling for 340, which is insane. And there's the promo from the tins. I don't even know how those are doing yet. The X and the Y version on those tins. I haven't looked into those yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing well. Just an idea to, you know, keep in mind that you don't have to have these big cards. And once you start, right, we were talking about doing this on a budget, right? If you're limited to $100, you could spend 1 week. You know, if you have 100 a week, you could spend 1 week just buying cards, and then the next week you grade, right? Because then you have to pay for the grading cost. Once you start churning and burning, that can multiply. If you start off just grading 5 cards, you know, that can turn to 10 to 15 at some point. But you got to keep that going. First, you're going to start off with 5 this week. Then in 2 weeks later, doing the same process, 5 again, because it's going to take time for them to come back, and keep going with those submissions. And as they start coming back, you're going to start building capital because you're going to sell them off. You're going to send them to consignment. Sometimes even those PSA offers are worth it as well. They offer you 90 to 95%.
Right.
You don't even have to worry about going to consignment. You know, I know people overthink it, but if you're going into this the way that Rev was saying, looking at it like as a business-minded person, and you're not attaching emotion to any of this, and you're prepared for something like that, you know the value. Once you look at that email, you should be able to use your phone or something and look at the value. If it's somewhat similar and you lose out on like 10% or 5% and you're still profiting a ton, I would take that right away. I don't even have to worry about consignment now. Like that's basically the consignment fee.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So just to keep that in mind, like you don't have to overthink this too much. Don't attach emotion to these things. When you become a person who starts developing a process like this, I think it really changes things for people. You'll see how it's gonna benefit your collection. You probably will not have to start using at some point. You can get to a spot where you're not using your hard-earned money, like your work, like your primary job's money, to fund your hobby. Like this can be a lot, like for someone.
Jay, do me a favor. Go into, and this is one we've talked about to just kind of show them. Go into Crown Zenith Ditto Hollow Rare. Crown Zenith Ditto Hollow Rare. We always hear about the Ditto that's the full art, that has the little cows, what look like cows. But these are the types of things that I do. Jay and I talk about the Crown Zenith Ditto Hollow Rare. It just is a big Ditto. Most people don't even consider the hollow rares as important.
Is this the one? Because this one is not the one that I'm seeing. The one that it's not showing the same value as what you were showing me.
That's it. But that's
so this is $40 in a 10.
So there's one. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone because I don't know why it's not showing on there, because on my PSA one, it showed that the last one.
The reverse is at 78. Of course, this one probably took off. Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Your mic is like cracking. I don't know why. After you did something with your phone and it started making your voice crack.
Hold on a second.
Or I don't know if you're on your laptop. I don't know how you're.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad.
Okay, I don't know what happened. It made the voice get like all cracky and stuff.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. It just has like static is all.
Okay.
We're here. I can hear you.
I don't know why it did that. Hold on. You could go ahead and talk. I'm going to look for it.
All right. So yeah, this is something that we've brought up several times because, like I said, this can fund your whole hobby. We're looking at how expensive things are getting with Ascended Heroes, but at the same time, in reality, just going back to this image here. This card was not a PSA 10. $340 in a PSA 10. Just as Ascended Heroes and all these other things are inflated, so are the slabs. So this is like a time to take advantage of, like when it comes to slabs. Look at this. This was nowhere close to that, guys. April 20, one year ago, this card was $55 in a 10. It is now $340. And a year ago, everything wasn't as inflated as it is now. So it goes hand in hand with the rest of the market. Like it's all moving together. So
yeah, that one's adjusted. But I think the one thing that I personally believe my let me see if it's the 151 Gengar reverse hollow.
Oh, for 151, yeah.
151 Gengar reverse hollow. The raw price, it'll show on there, but I'm looking at it right now on PSA. You'll be shocked at how much a PSA 10 go for a card that may cost $7 to $8.
Yeah, this is it right here. $386 in a 10.
It costs $8.
Yeah,
it's an $8 card that if you get enough of them, and centering is the big key for this, you can turn that basically $8.25. You can turn $40 into $300.
Look at the regular hollow rare. Rare. It's $220 as well. Which I have I know I have a ton of these. Like I know I do. I know.
And so that's what I've been doing, Jay. And when you have these, you're getting into the grading to consignment. That's how you need to think at first. Don't think about the Cynthia Garchomp and the Mewtwo and the backshot Pikachu, and don't even think right there. Build yourself up to, so what winds up happening, this is what's benefited me, is I use other cards to build my PC. So whenever I send cards, there are cards that I want to keep in my collection. I send those in with all those other cards. All the other cards pay for the submission, and then I have that big card sent back to me to put in my own personal collection. I don't need consignment to sell those. I can basically have those sent back to me and sell it and not have to deal with the fees. I get 90% at a card show on it. It's being strategic. I don't typically buy PSA 10s. I don't do it. I basically buy raw, and if I see a PSA 9 or a CGC 9.5, I just bought a couple of CGC. I bought a CGC Pristine of Gyarados Rainbow Rare. Paid $115 for it. I had sold off some sports cards, so it didn't really cost me anything out of pocket. Well, it goes for $220 in a PSA 10. I just believe that the 115 is undervalued. Those are the things that you have to do when it comes to grading to consignment. You have to have a strategy, and you cannot fall in love with the card.
Yeah. I mean, we all have a lot of cards that we absolutely don't love. I know it. I know for a fact, like, even when you get a hit, yeah, it feels good at the moment and it's cool, but we don't love all of these cards for sure. Dark Magician, what's up? Welcome, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Sui said, would those cards be hard to move at a 10? He said, who's buying these at a 10? I don't know which card exactly he's talking about, but we're talking about these smaller cards. It's got to be the Charizard that I was talking about, the Eevee. I know that the cards are smaller cards, and maybe to you they seem like they're not worth buying. But people aren't just buying the card. They're buying a card that's incredibly scarce, because the reason why a lot of these cards have a high value is because they have a low gem rate. So you now have a card that in a 10 becomes much more exclusive than whatever it is when it's raw. And to be honest, like, I know that we can think about that, like who's buying these, but like, this is going by eBay sales, right? This price charting is taking data from eBay, and it's showing you here the rate, volume, 3 sales per week. So 3 of these are selling per week as we can see here. 2 on the 4th, 1 on the 3rd, 1 on the 1st, and then before that, the 25th, 24th, 22nd, and they're selling 230, 240, 250, 190, 200, 305, 284. I don't know who's buying it, but I can tell you that it does not matter to me who it is that's buying it. As long as they're buying it. Now, I understand why you question it, because you may not want to buy that card. But in some cases, it is cool. Like that Arcanine that I had up here. I actually do like that card. I like it. The Eevee is nice. I would not mind having that Eevee in a 10, even if I just graded myself to keep. Some of these cards are nice. You know, they're not full arts. Well, like, I know the big thing now is, you know, all the SIRs, but, you know, years ago we did have those half art cards like the Charizard that everybody knows, you know, and the Venusaur and the Blastoise from base set and all those cards. They were half arts, and a lot of these cards are actually really, really nice. They're just not what we're used to right now. So a lot of people are going to like it. You know, they are going to like some of these cards, and that's why they're selling.
So, for instance, I just had a card, one of those cards that I sent earlier. It was a Carablast, the Carablast from
Black Bolt.
Yeah, I sent it off. It has a difficult gem rate, but it just sold for $157. I mean, I had $30 into the card. It sold for $157.
Yeah.
Somebody bought it. I mean, I got paid for it.
Do you? Somebody mentioned something about GameStop. Do you ever grade with GameStop? And if you grade with GameStop, does that allow you to do the grade to consignment still, or it's only when whoever you start grading with first? Yeah,
GameStop. The only thing GameStop will do if they buy back cards from that standpoint through the PSA partner. And I'm not knocking GameStop. Let me just say that first and foremost. But when you use GameStop, you have to pay the PSA fees up front. So that's money out of your pocket immediately.
Yeah.
My consignment way, I don't have money out of my pocket.
But your grade to consignment is coming from your are you signing up online, or are you going to, is that from your local LGS?
No, I go so PC Sports Cards, you can go in, they have a site. I just started using them. I have a dashboard once I signed up. It's a free service. It's all right there.
Oh, so this is not in person. You're doing none of this in person. This is just online. Okay. So there you go, guys. This is something that people talk about grading all the time. There's a lot of videos out there, top 10 cards to buy, this and that. This is something that you're not hearing everywhere else. Nobody's talking about grade to consignment. Nobody's talking about how to move these cards, how to do it easily. Bro, I have ETBs full of cards, whether they're EXs, illustration rares, Japanese ARs, SARs, SIRs. I have ETBs divided, like organized, right? If I decided to grade every single one, and I didn't know something like this, for example, now I have to try to move these things myself, and it's a very big difference doing it myself and doing it with consignment. You know, like I could do it later on, but that still kills more time.
But go to my office. I'll be right back.
All right, so I'm just trying to point out that even when you have these cards, right, and they're valued, right? I don't know what do I have here. I'm just grabbing something random. It doesn't have to be valuable whatsoever. I don't know. Oh, I did buy some of these promos, right? Like from the one of these tin collections or something like that, or whatever, of the evolutions. Let's say I just graded them, and I paid 30. There's 3 in here. I paid $30 a card. I'm gonna be into that card, that amount, whatever I've spent, until I've offloaded them. It doesn't matter if they're worth $20,000 each. Until I have unloaded that card, I'm still in the red. You know, and doing it like he's saying with grade to consignment, you're spending less time being in the red, so which allows you to make more plays and just be more liquid.
All of these are cards ready to go to my grade to consignment. All of them, and some of them aren't big. I mean,
they don't have to be big. They just have to make money. And real quick, Kevin, I highlighted your comment here because I think Pokemon Go in reality is going to be a little underrated. I think that a lot of people love the game Pokemon Go, and it's going to bring them back to that set.
I pulled the Pokemon Go. I pulled the Mewtwo. I call it the Flying Mewtwo in New York City.
They call it the New York City Mewtwo, yeah.
Yeah. And I sent it off it got a 10, and I don't know. I want that card in my PC, so I'm not selling it.
Right.
But I think it's like $300 in a 10.
It's a nice card. Yeah. It was really cheap before too.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I had to overcome, Jay, and I think whoever said about who's buying that card, I had to not think like a collector, because for me, I wouldn't buy that card personally. I wouldn't buy that card. But then I go into Target, that's stuff that I wouldn't buy. I won't buy. I mean, and other people buy it. I mean, and so you're just providing a service. And I know people talk about Whatnot, and they talk about all these other places. eBay is the biggest marketplace, period. You get more eyes on your stuff at eBay than you get anywhere else. And all of the consignment companies, whether it's PC Sports Card, whether it's Arizona TCG, K&G or something like that, they all use PSA. I mean, they all use eBay, because they know that's where their customers are going to get the best chance of moving their stuff. That's right. What Kevin said is key. We don't buy 10s, we sell them.
That, as you talk, I'm just trying to do my work on the side. You know, Sylvester mentioned the side duck, right? And as you're talking, I showed it off right here. This is the side duck he's talking about. This one from the 3-pack blister. I actually like this card. Because
it's a hard card to gem. It is.
Yep, and it's $290 in a 10.
Yeah, it is
so
a hard
card. You know, doing some work in the background as you're talking on there.
This is another card that people.
Yes, that's the other one you were talking about. That's the one from the Destin Rivals blister.
Right, check lane blister. But it has a 10% gem rate. I mean,
right.
I sent 10 in and got 8 9s and 2 8s and made money.
Wow. Still made money. First class collection. What's up, brother? Thank you for stopping by. Just stopping by. Hello. How you doing, man? I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good.
So this is one I picked up that most people don't.
Yeah, that's a really cool one right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to 10, but it doesn't have to 10 to make money on it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, including myself, are somewhat they aren't as experienced with grading. And I think just learning about all the little tips and tricks that somebody who does it all the time like you do. Like, I know these guys don't know how much you've graded or how much you grade. But I will say he grades a lot. As a matter of fact, every day we talk, I think it's like 99% of the time, every single day. First off, we talk every day. 99% of the time, the conversation is about some kind of grading thing, whether it's tag, having inflated numbers by their bots, or PSA, taking advantage of people, or, you know, just plays like these cars that he sent me a list of. And just for example, like just those things. This is all we talk about when it comes to this, because this is what he does.
A sleeper card that people don't
That's
realize.
The promo I'm talking about. That's the promo from the 10. There's that one and the other one. That one and the other one. Let's see if I can find it. What's the name on that one? I mean, the number.
MEP 30, Black Star Mega Charizard EX.
30. Found it. All I needed was that 30 number. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Those 10 promos, like when I opened up the 10s, I was already like amazed with how good they look. As a matter of fact, I'm knocking stuff down just to show you guys. I purposely kept them in the little holster that it comes in. It's still in the tin. Wow. I opened up the packs, but I left them in the holster for when I want to go back to them to grade them. So I didn't want to mess with them. I just left them alone. But when you look at the cards, like they have texture just like an SIR would. These promos that came in these tins are actually really nice. Underrated, honestly. Like, I know it, like I said before, you know, now these days we're so used to just having these big full arts, right? Like the Greninja from the collection box, and now the Lucario MAR that I keep talking about from that other collection box. You know, it doesn't always have to be that. Those cards right there, both those Charizards, look amazing, and the texture on them, they look great. You know, the colors pop. People will like them. I mean, I'm telling you that right now, as a collector, as just somebody who's liked Pokemon since I was a kid, I like the card. I'm telling you that the card looks cool, and I'd love to see it in a slab. So
The way I think I heard you say it, Jay, everybody knows Charizard and Pikachu.
yeah. What I had said was I was in I forgot. I think I was in Alex's stream on a Nostalgianomics thing, and there were people in the chat. He was under fire for a good while, where a lot of haters were going into his stuff, and people will comment things like, "Oh, you guys are crazy investing into Pokemon, and you're all going to lose your money. It's all going to crash. I hope it all crashes and burns." And then somebody commented, "I invest into Pokemon because even your grandmother knows who Pikachu is."
Yeah.
And that's what it was, and it's true. Everybody does.
Let me mention something. I see Cash Out mention
Yeah.
it's 5 way to grade, which is way too long for my patience. If you're not patient, if you don't have patience, grade to consignment is not for you.
I mean, but even outside of that, because in reality, so if you're in this live and you watch my channel, I would assume you're investing into Pokemon, and if you are, it's requiring patience. You have to buy something and let it sit. The stuff that I have behind me, I started finally collecting sealed January last year, and so I've had it for now a year and 3 months because I was ripping everything else before. So now I have a year and 3 months holding sealed, and the collection keeps growing and it keeps getting bigger. But this is patience. That's a year and 3 months. And that year and 3 months, if it's 5 months to wait, I could have had at least 2 cycles of cards come back.
Right.
I could have graded 20 cards at a time. I could have had 40 slabs already with me and consigned. And then I could have had in that time, in that time period, you are supposed to be grading, is what we're saying, to use it as some sort of a business, a side income, where in that time period, even in those 5 months, you're not just grading that one time. You can grade that first month, and if you don't want to grade every single week, you can grade the second month. Now you have 5 different bunches of cards that you had sold to a PSA, and so you're gonna get the cards in 5 months, but then you're gonna get another set a month later, and then a month later after that, because now you start this cycle, right? It's not just you're thinking about the 5 months, but if you keep sending them every month, you're gonna get your return from your grades back every single month. You're gonna get another bunch, another 5 cards, 10 cards, whatever you do. If it's 20 cards, you're gonna get 20 slabs sent back to you every month after that. Once it starts and you develop that routine, it's just now it's every month. Now it feels like it's not, but it's gonna feel like they're coming back in a month because you're gonna have so many cards coming back. It's just you can fund your hobby so well with this. Like, it's so crazy. Like I said before, Rev sent me his numbers before. I think he sent me how much he made consigning it. It was a good amount, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. So don't doubt it. If you're not into it, that's fine as well. This is not for everyone. It is not for everyone, but it can do a lot for you if you get into it. You start having fun with it. You enjoy it. Like I said before, the biggest thing most of the time is the money, right? Everything is getting expensive. We just had buyouts a few days ago of booster box cases. Booster box case buyouts, guys. How many of you guys can keep up with booster box case buyouts? Because I can't.
It's every day. Every day.
Guys, the booster boxes that got bought out were Surgery Sparks, right? And I'm naming Surgery Sparks first because it was the cheapest. And May 5th, so 20 boxes in the last 2 days from Surgeon Sparks. Sorry, cases, 20 at about 1,800 to 2,500. So you can do the math there. Then you go to like Lost Origin, for example, and that's one of the bigger ones that had a booster box buyout, and it didn't have to be too many. They're just incredibly expensive, and it affects market price heavily. So just thinking about like all the money that you could put into this stuff, or you can't actually because you can't afford to. Like, just think about the extra money that could be coming in that could be helping you. That's all really why this is here. I thought it was Lost Origin cases, or was Lost Origin just booster boxes? Was it regular booster boxes? Yes, regular booster boxes. They ranged from $700 to $843, and they bought 41 of them. Can you compete with that? Who can really compete with that? Like, that's crazy. And you'd be able to do so much more in this hobby if you took advantage of this outlet. Like, one of the things that if you guys watch Earn Collects, not only him, Earn Collects, and who was the other guy? Dan from Catch'em Collectibles, he had somebody on his stream, and Ern kind of says things like that are geared towards this. It's like, for example, if anybody that watches Ern Collects, his thing is what is it? Something vendor grader, investor. I don't know. He names all the things basically. He basically claims that he's an investor, a collector, a grader, a vendor,
I know
a
what you're talking
trader.
about.
Okay, so him naming all of that goes along with what I'm saying here. Dan from Catch'em Collectibles had a guy there, and what he said was, guys, whatever you do, I don't care what you do in Pokemon right now, but you should be doing something. And that something did not really include buying. Like, buying is an option, like to invest and put away. But it really went geared towards other things. Like, if you want to start a rip and ship business, if you want to open up a store, if you want to start up a YouTube channel, if you want to vend, if you want to sell, grade, all this stuff, it's like, this is the time to do it. Like, if you were going to try to make money with Pokemon, like, it's now. This is where the money's made. In the bear market is where you spend your money, where you start accumulating. Now in the bull, this is where you make the money. And there are so many different ways, and it's like easy to make money right now. And this is why they were saying it doesn't matter what you do something. And this is just one of the outlets to do so. But this is one of like the major ones, guys. Like, grading is crazy right now. Every single that's taking off, it's not only taking off just because people like raw cards, it's because they're grading them and they're selling for all-time highs, like all over the place. I think somebody, real quick, one more thing. Somebody came into my last stream, and I'm not going to be able to see it here, and said they bought the Giratina from Lost Origin, slabbed in a 10.
$3K. I think you said $3K.
$3,000. $3,000. So even though some people are thinking to themselves, that's wild, I would not spend that money on that slab. Well, look at this. People are buying. He bought it at 3K. He bought it at 3K. This is where we are. It says, and look, remember that those promos, they said 3 sales per week. And yeah, that may not sound like a lot, and it's okay. It's not as much as some others, but this one at 3,000 is selling even more. 1 sale per day. That's 7 a week at 3K at an all-time high. This is where people are just, this bull market, like an example of potentially the next bull market, what it's going to be like, is going to be similar to each one, where this is the time to sell. This is the time where you make money as the person who can sell.
I have a mindset, and it's been very successful. It's better to be the bank than the buyer. What I mean by that is, you want to do the research before the card becomes popular. For instance, I know most people don't like Perfect Order, but I personally am sold into the Clefairy. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon, and it's cute. And these are the type of cards that if you have them, when they run up, you have them already. So now you're the bank. Instead of now having to send them to PSA and have to wait for 3 or 4 months or 5 months, by that time the card could go down. But if you have the foresight to say, okay, I'm going to send these cards in because I believe in this Pokemon, I believe in this card, when it finally runs up, I personally believe the rainbows are going to make a run. I don't know when they're going to make a run. I think people put them down right now, but that's okay. So I bought the Gyarados Rainbow. I bought the Zapdos, no, not the Zapdos, the Rayquaza Rainbow, because somewhere down the line, somebody's going to want that card. And when it starts running up, I get the benefit of the run up and not. There are a lot of people. I came in, I did a lot of sports. And sports people lost so much money because of the PSA backlog. They were sending cards that were baseball cards that were stuck. Baseball season was over. Now you have all of these cards that are coming back in the off season. You're going to lose money. Pokemon is totally different because you're not just relying on one or two players. There are so many different Pokemon that people collect. You just have to find out which ones you want to source. You don't have to spend a lot of money to make a lot of money in Pokemon. You really don't. But you have to be in the grading market in order to really capitalize to the fullest extent in this bull market.
Right. Yeah, I think like First Class Collection was saying, it's all about adjusting your perspective and that helps prolong your patience. You gotta see things like as far as you can down the line. Let's say if you need to see it that 5 months, like was said earlier, about 5 months waiting for a grading card, like you gotta think about it 5 months on the line. Where are we gonna be in 5 months? If you graded right now, where will we be in 5 months? We are in May. We're gonna be in November. 30th would have just come out. There's still hype here. I think in December or maybe around November, actually, the Rayquaza set will probably come out, right? Because the 30th, I think it's coming out in September. 2 months later, like it's like 2 months, every 2 months that they release a set. So November, some point, they will release the Rayquaza set, and then we're going to be in a different place, in a different time of the year, but the hype is still going to be at an all-time high, most likely. So that's one thing to just keep in mind. Look, here we go. That was Ernst thing. Ripper, flipper, collector, investor, grader, event. Yeah, something like that. Like it was something like that. But yeah, just one thing to keep in mind. I think grading is really underrated. I think what would help people is like not help, convince, or maybe see things from a different perspective. If there was a chart, like if you had a Excel spreadsheet and you had all your expenses, grading costs, and then you had your returns, like the PS10 value, and then your profit. Like if people saw that and then they saw the numbers at the bottom, all of it like pile up together, I think it would change the perspective. I think people will stop questioning grading so much and say, you know what, let me actually take the time to grade. Let it, let me have some patience and maybe dive into this a little more.
I'm gonna show
because
something.
it doesn't take too much
on screen to kind of assist everybody in understanding. Now, I've been doing this since 2022. I want y'all to look at that.
That's a little hard to see. It's because it's like it's that.
Can you see that?
Hold on.
All right, I'll say it. My lifetime sales is $72,905. My lifetime earnings, so that takes the expenses out.
This is through your grade to consignment.
Yeah, grade to consignment. This is since 2022. My lifetime earnings, once I took out all the expenses, is $60,604.
That was your profit? 60,000? So in 3 years, you made, I'm saying 3 because 2026, like we're a third of the way through. In those 3 years from 2022 to 2025, you basically made 20K grading alone.
Yeah. And remember, I was in sports, so Pokemon is new. I'm really, I think 2 years ago, I really moved into the Pokemon side, and I've been watching those numbers. When I look at, and so one of the things I'll show you. So like I said, I have a dashboard, and my dashboard will give me my financial overview. It'll give me my available balance that if I wanted to, I could just withdraw. But because I'm doing grade consignment, I never withdraw the money because I got other cards that are going to be coming. It's what you said earlier, Jay. Once you start doing it, you're going to have cards coming back every month.
Yeah.
So if you make a lot of money, you don't draw that out. Those monies wind up paying for the next submission and the next submission and the next submission. But Yeah, I remember you too, Card Vibe. But then it'll show you. I can go into here and it'll show you. I can't. I know we're gonna have difficulty. It'll show me like right now. I have 3 submissions at PC Sports Cards. I have 3 bulk. One of them is a 30 card order. One is a 40 card order. The other one is a 35 card order. I never send more than 40 cards at a time because I don't want to get the grader from hell and wind up they have a bad day and all 100 card, all he does is say 9, 9, 9.
Right.
I spread them out. I mean, it's a very profitable thing to think about. I have a background in sales. Yes, I'm a pastor, but I have a background in sales, so I understand sales probably a little bit more than other people, how that all works. But it is a very and as Jay knows, I'm on Instagram, the Reverend Rips. Hit me up if you need any advice. I want all of us to be successful. I want everybody.
Yeah, he's in the Discord as well. If you guys are in the Discord, or if you guys do join, you can add him there. It'll come up. If you go to Instagram, is the Reverend Rips. He'll be there. But yeah, Snackbird said, what about grading other stuff that's not for the future? Like, what about just grading Sword and Shield Trainer Gallery, Alt Arts? That can still be good, right? I mean, it's as long as you, in reality, as long as you're grading something that's a popular Pokemon, you're good. In reality, that's really what it's about, because people don't want to buy, I don't know, Strubbish or or what's that garbage Pokemon? I don't even know his name. I don't even care for it.
Garbodor.
Yeah, there you go. Like I don't care for it. Some people do because they like that, they find it to be different and stuff like that. But in reality, the majority don't, right? But then now you're putting yourself in a position where you want to grade Charizard, Pikachu, Gengar, Umbreon, Eevee, Rayquaza, Giratina, Latios, like the popular ones. The ones that
you
come.
can search the top 20 most popular Pokemon.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can. But most of the time, if you've been involved in Pokemon, they come to your head all the time, right? You got Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, like all the popular ones that just you think of a Pokemon, it's probably that. So you should be good whether it's trader galleries or not, or alt arts. Like the Lugia from, Silver Tempest has been taken off. This Giratina that I just showed you from Lost Origin has been taken off. That's an all-time high, like by a lot. I don't know if you realize the all-time high before that was in October 2025. It was $2,275 for the Giratina. It is now up to over $3,000. That is a lot. That is like huge gains from that all-time high. So every single Altar right now is at an all-time high in Sword and Shield, which is why I've been talking about Sword and Shield possibly taking off. But just an example, the Altar question you have here, or the Sword and Shield tag teams, like the tag team Rayquaza, which nobody really loved in Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest really does not get much love for their the trainer gallery. That's a tag team, the trainer gallery. They don't really get love for that. I do think that they have some decent cards in there. I don't necessarily hate what they have there. I think that they've done some decent things. If we look at the trainer gallery real quick, you'll see that this Rayquaza has absolutely taken off. And people really did not talk about this Rayquaza before, like at all. This Rayquaza is now at $181, right? I will show it on the screen. It's $181, right? Market. But a year ago, $73. And it was the top trainer gallery in the card. And at this time in May, I think at this time, a year ago in May, we already heard about a Rayquaza set. I'm pretty sure we knew. And that's when the celebrations Rayquaza started taking off and things like that. This is why you saw this rise. Actually, maybe this is what it was. And then this was the rise. I can't remember exactly. It was somewhere around here last year, May, June, July. We heard about the Rayquaza set, started taking off. But this card was not absolutely loved, regardless of how good it is or how good it looks. Because it's a trainer gallery card, people like disregarded it and didn't really love it, right? So that's a great example right there, the Rayquaza one. Now, for example, if we get a Garchomp set, you got the Garchomp trainer gallery from Astral Radiance, amazing card as well, right? If we get a Blaziken somewhere, this trainer gallery will probably take off, which it has because it was in the 20s a year ago. A year ago, it was like in the teens and the 20s. One of these two. That's the V Max. Maybe the V was in the teens, I believe. But cards, once again, that weren't really loved. Yeah, this one was in the teens. There you go. So these cards weren't really loved, and now look, that's lightly played, right? But swapping over to near mint real quick. 28 on this one now, 36. You know, things are moving. This Rayquaza right here, Secret, was not expensive at all. Look, it's moving. It depends on the Pokemon. Like, no, regardless of how good this Corviknight is here, and this one, like, it's not a popular Pokemon right now, so it's probably not going to move. But you have opportunities depending on what happens. The Garchomp, for example, Astral Radiance, just cards that are coming to mind. You brought up the Trainer Gallery and the alt arts, and I don't think the Trainer Gallery get highlighted as much, like nearly as much as the alt arts or SIRs. And so yeah, you have a Garchomp set. This one will probably take off, and it's a beautiful card, right? Just some examples there for that. Something must have happened to Rev again, because he didn't say anything, but it's cool. If he can have back in, he will. Disney Lorcana. I heard that's been taken off as of late. For me, I don't have any connection to Lorcana at all. Like, as a kid, I didn't watch Disney. As surprising as that might be to some people, I was more like Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, like Digimon, and things like that. So I wasn't really fond of that stuff, but I know it's taken off. You know, and in every market you have all their niches and people like it. Like Lorcana, it's gaining value for a reason. People like it. Of course, it's popular. I was gonna ask Rev for you if he grades Japanese, but to be honest, what he's been showing me is just English. He hasn't been showing me anything on Japanese. Now, for me, it's different. For me, I think, for example, that the Japanese Gengar MAR, like, I think that can do well. That's me, right? Like, if it's an obvious, like, popular Pokemon, I think it can do well. We've seen it in the past. Even if you compare it to these cards, right? Like, Giratina V. Will it come up? Let's see if it comes up. Let's see if it comes up this way. Here we go. So, even though it's not as expensive, you'll still find value here, right? This card is at $990 and 2,125 in a 10. It's a hard card to pull, right? It's Japanese, and you'll find that across the board with a lot of things. You look at EV Heroes, you look at all the evolutions in there, the Moonbryon, the Japanese Moonbryon is doing really well. Japanese Rayquazas are doing really well. And you have some cards like the Mew and some other trainer cards are much more popular in Japanese. So you can find value. And Gengar is popular in both languages. So is Umbreon, Charizard, Pikachu. Like, it doesn't matter. So that's why I shouted out the Gengar MAR, because it's $30 right now. The English one is $100, guys. So the English one, I think it's worth grading right now and selling it. It's at like $600 and something dollars in a 10. Gengar MAR. Hopefully it comes up on price charting like that. MAR, is it here? I don't see it. I don't know the. Oh, I can find it real quick, actually. Why am I doing it like this? 269. Here we go. Gengar 269. Yeah, 612 and a 10. It's now $90 raw. 612 and a 10. So, but then you can find Collectrix. I just realized that Collectrix does not have Japanese on here. So if I just search up, let me just close these tabs. I can just search up. Here we go. So for me, it's like Look at how affordable this card is right now because it's Japanese and the English one is hot and it's taken over. But also, it's just affordable now. Like, if you guys remember last stream, we were looking on eBay and I saw this card in a pristine 10 for $115. It probably sold already. You know, if I see it, as a matter of fact, if I see it live during this stream, I'll buy it right now because I don't remember. But look, now it's at $150 in the 10. That moved. That moved from last stream till now. 150, and a pristine 10 is typically harder to get than a PSA 10. You know, so that's that, right? Now I'm looking because I had it like watched. Like I had it as one of my watched items. But yeah, this is basically what you're seeing here is really what I've been looking at as of late. Mostly Sword and Shield booster boxes. I might be picking up a Fusion Strike one soon. I know it's expensive. That's why I haven't purchased it yet. I just keep thinking of back and forth, like, is it worth getting? You know? But this is what I've been looking at. A lot of sealed product, just trying to accumulate more sealed and just put it away. You know, I think a lot of us are in that same boat, but some of these things are really, really hard to buy. They're just expensive. And on top of that, I've been looking at the Chaos Rising booster box. I think this one's listed here for under 1,400. Yeah. So I was looking at that one. Just some things, you know, like so much is happening. You try to keep up. It feels like every day something else has moved. You know, it's difficult. What kind of just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have. No, it does not. I wish the Memory Brew didn't bring it up because I've been looking at reverse hollows from Shroud of Fable. I've brought up Shroud of Fable quite a few times here myself because people like to down talk these sets. And like I said before, like most of the time you can find something that you like in that set. You know, you're not going to have to, you don't have to like everything. There's people that hate the Mewtwo from Destined Rivals. It's still the best main set booster box, right? Still the best main set. And people have trashed that Destined Rivals Mewtwo quite a few times, you know? Just at least to put that into perspective, because like I said, it's a top set, and Mewtwo is one of the most loved Pokemon out there. They still trashed it. As a matter of fact, there's still people that aren't happy with the Ascended Heroes one as well. So I pulled that Rayquaza from Solar Tempest. It's a pretty sick card. I still have it. It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. Collection. Take care, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Zeraora Auto V just went from 15 to 500 in a PSA 10 in the past month. Really? That's the alt art from Chilling Reign, isn't it? And I know you've been on that Chilling Reign boat. I don't know what it's going to take. Zero. What number is that? It's got to be this one. Yeah, it's this one. No, it's not this one. But I do love this one right here. I really like this Zeraora. This one. This card right here. Amazing card. Zeraora. Amazing card right there. The one you're talking about, which, let me just write. Which one? Are you talking about the Trainer Gallery one? Because that was the alt art. Which alt art are you talking about? That's the alt art here. Is there another? Oh, are you confusing it? Maybe you're talking about the. No, I can't believe this is $74 on a 10. Look at this card. You know, the Pokemon market sometimes it's a tad questionable. Like you don't even know why certain cards don't have better values. Like it's crazy. Not hard to buy Fusion. The question is, in the short term, do you think holding Ascended Heroes ETBs is better play? Will do better. Fusion is to be honest, if there's one that's going to take off out of the ones that I mentioned, which is Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, and Fusion, I think Fusion is going to be the one to lead the pack. I think once Fusion starts moving, I think we'll see more things happening with Lost Origin right behind it. I think Brilliant Stars will start to move. That trainer gallery is insane. And I think Silver is going to be the sleeper. I think it really is a sleeper there. We could say Chilling, but Chilling just doesn't have like a lot of people like Chilling. Like Fino is in the Discord. He loves those alternate arts from Chilling Reign. But for some reason, there are a lot of people out there that don't. You know, of course, everybody, you're gonna like what you like, but yeah, it's just something that we have to like go with what the majority likes. And for some reason, those Chilling Reign alternate arts aren't loved like that. Even though that isn't that the set with the most all arts. I'm pretty sure it's the set with the most all arts, right? Like this Fino has been picking a ton of these up right here. Like he's showing us the Galarian Moltres he picked up, this Slow King, which I actually like, but then this card is really cool. No one talks about it. The Zapdos, the 3 legendary birds are really cool. No one talks about them. The Calyrex, people don't really talk about Calyrex at all. This Blaziken is decent. Like I think it's actually really nice. The Rapidash, like a lot of cool cards here. And people don't talk about them, but they're just not that popular. The Galarian Moltres is really popular in the Articuno, but that's it. You don't hear too much about any of these other cards aside from the Blaziken. I don't know. I just don't see the hype pushing into Chilling like that. Like I think it will eventually move as well, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to get people to go to Chilling. But I think that Silver Tempest is going to be like a really, really nice sleeper. That Lugia, I think, I really think people are going to like Lugia. Where am I going here? Didn't I press? Oh. Yeah, I think people are going to like that Lugia. I don't know. I think this is going to be the sleeper. The more affordable box, the box with Pokemon that people didn't really pay attention to and now are, like this one. The Rainbow Lugia looks really cool as well. Like Regidrago, not so much. Maybe the Unknowns. People like this card. It's actually a nice card. And like I said, the trainer gallery is still here that people don't talk about. The Superior, the Blissey, not as popular, not even close as like Brilliant Stars with all the evolutions, but there are some nice cards here. I think we can agree that there are some nice cards. I think this will be the sleeper, but that's what I'm doing right now. I did happen to. I'm just looking into more sealed. I ordered a case of Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. I did buy that Lost Origin booster box with the offer. I am looking into that Silver Tempest one. I actually, while I was doing things here, I quietly sent a offer on the Silver Tempest booster box with the acrylic. And then I think I'm just going to do things like that. I'm going to pick up boxes here and there. I'm not going to go. I was thinking about buying some cases, but I think the cases are a tad bit too inflated. And I think that it'll be easier to move booster boxes individually. There's just many more people that can afford a single booster box as opposed to a case. And I've said this for various different items out there. Like when we talk about the Prismatic Evolutions booster bundle display, it's a cool item because it's appreciating. But at a certain point, I feel like it's going to appreciate so much, you're going to have problems trying to sell it because I don't know, the price per pack isn't there, like nowhere close. And I just think that that's a problem, I really do. So I'm just going to stick to what I think will work, which is giving buying into just products that people will be able to buy into, whether it's individual booster bundles and not a booster bundle display, or if it's individual ETBs. Because I do have like loose prismatic ETBs. This sealed case will be the first sealed one I have. So eventually, that'll be for the sealed investors, that want that will want to buy that one day, or collectors that want to buy a fresh case of ETBs. But then the loose ones will be for those that want to display it. They'll have that. And then the booster bundles will be for those people that want to rip. But you got to make them, I feel like you got to make them like affordable as well. I think that assuming that all these cases are going to sell that easily, it's just not realistic. And a lot of people, they have connections. They have ins with other people that have a lot of money that can afford to buy these things. And I think that, just like I said before, buying these singly, I think for me, what I have in mind, at least the way that I would want to move them, which is individually, I think they're going to work out that way much better than just a case, because cases have the sealed premium. Like it's a lot. Like like for example, what's a fusion case right now? Or well, I'm already here at Lost Origin. So what's a Lost Origin booster box? All right, market is 7077, and the case is 4200, but lowest listed is probably above that, right? Lowest listed on TCG Player, for example, is 575, right? So so 575. Oops, not 575. 575. What is that? That's 762 a booster box, which is actually right in line with the Lost Origin booster box. This went against what I was saying, but there's usually a sealed premium. But then again, guys, remember there was a buyout on the single boxes, so the single boxes caught up to the sealed case. It was not the same before. This was bought out recently, so I pushed it up to 777, which I showed you guys already. There was a buyout, and then like just other ones, Brilliant Stars, same thing. It's 600 a box. It's supposed to be what 3600 as a booster box case, but if you look them up, you're spending a minimum 4K. I've seen some at 4.5K, and I even seen some above 5K for Brilliant Stars. So it just gets crazy, man. Like these sealed premiums, I think they don't. I think they dig you further in a hole. Unless you have a buyer that's going to buy the case, unless you foresee yourself actually successfully selling a full case, depending on who you know. And the reason why I say that is because, for example, I know you guys watch Pokeplumber. Most people know who Pokeplumber is, and he clearly has some kind of connections with people. He's buying, black and white booster boxes, just boxes that are like 20K, 30K, 40K each, and he's trading boxes with people. He's selling off a whole bunch of stuff that's worth a lot of money, and so people reach out to him all the time. Like he says, at least they reach out to him all the time, and so that's just one way to get rid of this stuff that not everybody's gonna have with those big price points. Like I think it's a lot. CR was a deep set. Yes, it was. Just all yes. Got it raw recently. Oh yes, the exactly chilling. That's the one. So that was the one then, which is it is really nice in my opinion. The box itself is a collectible though. Exactly, I agree. I don't disagree that at all. But for some reason, if you look like Chilling Rain is one of those boxes that you can identify from like a mile away. It's the only blue box, right? It's the only blue box in Sword and Shield. Like Fusion is the only pink box. It's easily identifiable, just like Evolving Skies. It's all yellow. Actually, Evolving Skies can be confused with Darkness Ablaze, but we always associate total set value with the booster box value. It's always something that tends to correlate with one another, and that's why I was bringing up Sword and Shield moving soon. And I've been saying it for so many videos, and it's so funny that I got targeted. It got bought out in the past few days, and it was a few of them. I think it was Lost Origin and Fusion. I don't know if they did anything to Brilliant, but the fact that they're targeting Sword and Shield after I recently talked about it, not because of me, but just that it's correlating with the singles moving, with the PSA 10 values as well. Maybe a negative Nancy, but with oil hanging around at these levels and gas at 450, I think discretionary income is about to become tight. I just saw a part of my collection for the first time. I say all the time, it's a great time to sell, brother. It is. Realizing gains is why we're all buying into this stuff. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, everything is getting really, really expensive, um, including Pokemon, gas. I don't know. People, even with that, are still spending heavily into Pokemon. Hopefully, all those other things that we're dealing with in the economy, in the economy outside of Pokemon, like gas and oil and maybe your groceries, do start to balance out and start to just get a little cheaper. But people are still spending, man. It's just there's no denying. Like I don't even know how to explain it. The psychology there. That people do understand how expensive everything has become, and they're still willing to spend on Pokemon, and a lot, like crazy, and people are fighting over it, right? Go to eBay sales, zero. You know, it might have taken, because this just happened. It might have taken some. It might take some time for price charting to adjust and pick up those sales. Zero Aura V Alt Art. I see one listed right now at 467. I do see one listed at 467. Um, let's look at just 10. And we're seeing here more higher prices, though. Look at that. That is a very beautiful card, though. Very beautiful card. Sold. Here we go. 370, 342, 300, 175, 225. So, I mean, they're cheaper ones here. I think you said 500, no? I don't see any $500 sales. But they are getting more expensive. They're definitely climbing. And like I said before, everything's climbing. All these singles are all-time highs. So this is why I wanted to bring up the grading thing. It's so profitable. And the way that Rev does it with the grade to consignment, that slab never even touches his hand. He doesn't want it anyways. He doesn't want it anyways. So one thing to keep in mind. ETB collectors can't open them. The boxes aren't for opening at a certain point. I would like to see someone on Whatnot try to sell packs at 2K Celestial Store. Yeah. 8 packs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 100%. But like I said, like before I move forward, like I buy things with a plan. I'm not buying an item just because everybody else is buying it. I'm buying it, and most people, I guess, are buying it as well, with the understanding that each individual item is going to be for a different thing. The ETB will be for a sealed collector. You know, the booster bundles will be for rip and shippers, for people who want to rip packs, for vendors, things like that. Even if somebody does want to, if they happen to want to display a booster bundle, the majority of people are probably going to rip them. You know, that's probably going to be one of the best ways to access packs down the line. And so you always have to have an idea. For example, the Ascended Heroes premium poster collection boxes, those are not going to be displayable. They're going to be great for packs, right? So somebody's going to want them, whether it be a rip and shipper, like I said before, whether it be at shows, whether somebody wanted to just have packs on their table to sell. Um, that's what's going to happen with those. It's not going to be a displayable item. So you have to have at least the foresight to know what you're going to do with a lot of these items and how you're going to do it if you know you're going to be buying into these. So they all have their value, but it's with different purposes, right? Something just to understand. That's why these booster boxes keep getting expensive. And the reason why I'm talking about buying a Fusion Strike booster box is because I don't have one, right? And just keep it in my collection, whether I want to sell it one day or not. But at the moment, I would love to have it in my collection, just to have it. Hey, dude, I just came across your content a couple of days ago. Good stuff. Been enjoying the watching. Thank you, brother. Based Hooligan TCG. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is nothing without you guys. Keep that in mind. Like that, I don't take you guys for granted. You know, some days, for example, even going live, we get more traction than others. On Sunday, I went live. We had 70 people here. Today, we have 13, even though we had like 25. I don't know if the conversation wasn't for everyone, where some people left. That's okay as well. Like I said before, even grading isn't for everyone. They don't have to listen into the grading conversation. But if one person here decided to say, hey, I want to go grade, I think me and Rev did our job in helping people, or helping a person just make more money, help fund their hobby. Like that'd be sick, guys. 5 months from now, most of us don't know how liquid we're going to be. We don't know how much capital we're going to have to be able to fund whatever we want. Like if it's the Rayquaza set, if it's a 30th, there are people who are saying, I'm not buying anything right now. I just want to stack for the 30th. Grading could be that thing that helps you stack for the 30th. Grading could help you buy into the Rayquaza set. And it won't be your hard-earned money. It will not be your hard-earned money. I mean, he just told you, like, he has a job. He is a pastor, you know. In the last 3 years, he made 60K off of just grading. So 20K added to his yearly salary. I mean, that's usually a bump up in your salary, right? Like, I mean, at work, you'd have to beg for that, right? You'd have to work for it. And he did it with grading. Just a thing to keep in mind, man. It's the reason why I had this conversation. I think it'll help people. It just works for me. I think it will help people. I have not sent a submission in lately. I am planning to like look through a lot of the stuff that I have, and I'm planning to send some sizable submissions, so that I can get them back before the end of the year. So I don't know. I've had several plans, and they all require money. You know, I showed you guys that thing that I was discussing with ChatGPT, and it like designed it for me, and it was called like smart slabs or something like that, where you can scan the card, it shows you the owner, it shows you how long the owner has had it, it shows you the life cycle when you bought it. You know, it was a really cool thing, but it costs a lot of money. So whatever it is that I want to do out there, whatever it is that I want to explore or dabble in, it's going to cost money. Like when it comes to Pokemon, everything just does. Um, so yeah, that's going to be a thing for me. Like I'm going to add this into. It's basically going to be like a side hustle. Like it's going to be part of my salary. So I don't know. I'm going to do it. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it the same way how we're talking about these sealed items. You know, I talked to you guys about the Ascended Collection Premium Poster Box. I bought the case. Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. I spoke about it in my last video. I spoke about Ascended Heroes, right? And I'm talking about Ascended Heroes not because it's a must buy exactly, but it's the hottest thing out right now, and those are the most affordable prices available right now when it comes to the hottest thing that everybody wants, right? But then I also let you guys know I think I'm going to be going into Prismatic because it's going to rotate out in a year. Ascended Heroes has a lot of its life cycle still out there, like the large portion of it, and Prismatic only has a year. So as I said that in the video, I did exactly that, and I bought a case of the ETBs. And now I also talked to you guys about Sword and Shield. Bought a Lost Origin booster box. Already made the offer on the Silver Tempest box. I'm probably going to make an offer on the Fusion Strike one, and just keep moving forward from there. As a matter of fact, just for shits and giggles, like there are other things that I'm watching here, right? Like if it's on an auction, for example, we have 3 Brilliant Stars booster boxes here, a lot of 3 at $15.75 currently. Each box on TCG Player, I believe, is at $600 market. 600 market, but then if you look at what's listed here, like it's already starting to climb. At the bottom of the first page is 615. So just doing the math, it's about 1800 all 3. Right now we're at 1575. I think, does this end tonight? Yeah, in an hour and 30 minutes. So I will make a bid on this most likely to get these 3 at a maybe under market price, because I know people don't really want to spend too much money. I might buy into this one. I'm looking at that one, for example, that lot of 3, and there's another. Here you go. The other lot of 3 was Lost Origin, which is actually reaching its market price already, because they're at 700 each. They actually went to 777 because of the buyout. I don't know if it's worth placing a bid on this because now we're getting up to the original market price, and I think people may have not realized the buyout, and they're going to push up towards that buyout market price and making them more expensive than what I wanted them to be. So I might opt out for these. Just, you know, a fun thing to talk about what I'm looking at right now exactly. And these are all purchases, like, I don't know, that just arise time to time. Like this is another one. 2 Lost Origin for 1,000, ends in 2 hours and a half. Yeah, this is the under market one here. Maybe I'll go with this one. But, you know, opportunities come and go, and I just take them when they come. I say it all the time. Sometimes I think it was Karma, that's who's in the chat right now, was talking about something in the Discord, and he expressed feeling the need to like buy various things, and you know, and that always comes from a lot of money, not having enough money, or just too many things to even be looking out for. You know, just buy the things there when they're available. If you can afford to do it, don't overextend. Like there's always going to be that next play. There's always going to be more and more things happening. Eventually, the way we're looking at Sword and Shield, we're going to be looking back at Scarlet and Violet, and people are going to be wanting to make plays on those boxes because they've had some time to age. And so this is just going to keep happening, you know. And right now, I happen to be a little more liquid than I was prior, especially with my brother passing away. There was other things that I was focusing on. And so right now I'm in a position where I could buy a few things. I'm not going to go crazy, but I have options. I'm just looking at different lots here, like I showed you guys on eBay, as to like what I'm looking into. I just spoke to you guys about it, and for a reason. I spoke to you guys. I think Sword and Shield is going to take off. It has nothing to do with them manipulating it. I've been speaking about this for the last like 2 weeks. So Pokemon is its own economy. That's true. That's true. That's right. Took gains on a bunch of celebrations after 4 to 5 years. What I saw this last weekend was a lot of vendors buying from other vendors. Was interesting. Those vendors, I don't know any vendors or many vendors personally, but they do tend to keep their own stuff. They do tend to keep their own their thing. Rev actually wrote to me on the side. He said he had to get off. I didn't see that. But yeah, the vendors, I've heard about that many times, where they keep moving product amongst themselves. Maybe like these insane grails that have a low pop that are actually really expensive. They move them from one another to another, like whether it be these crazy booster boxes. Yeah, but then again, at the same time, keep in mind that vendors are making so much money these days. They're so liquid. They're a lot of times there are products that you can't even afford really, and they can afford very easily because of how much money is being pumped into Pokemon right now. You inspired me to be a better person. My girl would laugh about this. I don't even know. I don't know if this is true. I hope it's true. I don't know. I don't even know. Hope it's true though. Yeah, join the Discord, guys. Join the Discord. It's I'm there. I'm pretty active there. I think people would say, not asking anybody to lie on my behalf, but I'm pretty active there actually. Like once you join, as a matter of fact, I don't have a bot welcoming you. I'm welcoming you myself. So that's how active I am in there. I see it. Eventually, I'll hop in there and say what's up. And like I said, I'm pretty active in there. Roxy, yo, Jay, how much you spent on a rub case? A what? What is that? A rub case of Priz? I don't know what you're trying to say there, bro. What is that? I don't know. Write this comment again. Like, write it now. Like, I don't know what that meant. If it was a sealed case, the sealed case was it was 1900, no tax shipped. 1900, if that's what you were asking. I'm about to get cooked opening a torn sealed prismatic ETB, but it could also have a god pack, and I'm the chosen one to open it. I have, like I said, a case of opened ETBs because the person I bought it from at the time was trying to sell them individually, and he opened up the case prior to me meeting with him. So I just took the box and I put them in there. I definitely told my girl right away, like, once this case comes, I'm giving you an ETB. I want to get a sealed case of super premium collections. I want to get one sealed case, and I want to get one loose one, and the loose one will be for my fiance to rip. And I enjoy it because I'm watching her. It's like I'm ripping it anyways. So hopefully you get something good. But like I said before, I try to experience the hobby in a way that makes me happy. I could keep everything sealed. There's so many different things that I've ripped. Oh, I was going to mention this. To my surprise, and probably to yours, I made that video and I was doing this giveaway. The person who won the giveaway never responded to me. And one more thing I'm going to say, right? And I'm just talking to you guys live because you can't have a live conversation with the community, and you just can't. And I do keep these bubble wrapped, but if they're not in the acrylic, I purposely said this even on the live. I said this on the video when I announced the giveaway. I didn't want the Givy Goblins to come and take something that could have gone to somebody who was a true supporter of the channel. Like, that's really where I wanted to land. I can't do it that way because the giveaway picker just does it on its own. But I'm hoping that it does land on somebody who does support the channel. Clearly, this person that won does not support the channel. because they didn't see my video of me announcing the giveaway. And so for that reason, at the end of the night, I said 48 hours. At the end of the night, if he doesn't contact me on Instagram like I asked him to, then that's going to get done again. And whether I do a video tomorrow or Saturday, I'll announce another winner from that same video. I'll pull from the comments. But it's so funny. I was going to say, like, I could have kept all these ETBs. I had 5 that came from Walmart. I ripped 4, kept 1. And this is literally the last one that I'm giving away. And I'm cool with it, honestly. And we're going to get more later on. If I really want one to keep for a collection, I'll buy it. It's fine. But the point is that clearly this person wasn't a supporter of the channel. But I could have kept all those, right? I could have had 5. Could have had 5 of those. We ripped a ton of 3-pack blisters for Prismatic. We ripped a ton of ETBs. I could have kept all that. I tell people all the time, enjoy the hobby how you want. Some people don't want to open at all. They will not open at all. But nah. When I was a kid, especially, I couldn't afford much when I was a kid. So I didn't get to rip much as a kid. I did have Pokemon cards, but not much. I mostly saw other kids with Pokemon cards that I remember because I used to, be around them all the time. But I'm at an age where I could buy whatever I want or as much as I want. And so I'm going to enjoy the hobby how I want to enjoy it. So I both rip and I keep stuff sealed. I say to people all the time, enjoy the hobby how you want it. Somebody just recently came into my comment section and said, displaying sealed is weird. It's all meant for ripping. I don't care what you say. I was like, brother, enjoy the hobby how you want. It's your opinion. Like, come on. Sometimes I get FOMO when I see something the heroes sell out at Target. Yeah. Well, I haven't gotten anything for MSRP. So if you get lucky at Target, good for you, because that does not work out for me at all. I got cooked selling Phantasmal at 330, but I was up and we make our moves and don't look back. Why would you say you're cooked? Because they're at 400? I'm assuming you still realized gains. You still profited. You're on to the next one, bro. You made money. On to the next one. It doesn't matter. What was this quote? I think the quote was, a deal is only a deal when the deal is better than no deal. Make sense? A deal is only a deal if the deal is better without the deal. So you made money when you made that deal, bro. Don't even worry about it. Move forward. And I know, Kevin, the way you talk, like, it sounds like you move a lot. You do a lot. So I'm pretty sure you're up. You're 100% right. Prismatic is going to age extremely well. Do not sell any Prismatic until it's out of print. Yeah. That case is going to stay there. I was thinking about getting a booster bundle case as well. It's somewhere around that 2,000 range. But, like, I'm looking at Ascended Heroes, and it's, like, surpassed Prismatic. And I'm thinking to myself, all that FOMO buying, like, even though I would like ETBs that are easier, like, I would love to have an Ascended Heroes case, right? They're too expensive for my taste right now for how new they are. And all it's telling me is, like, yeah, keep buying Ascended because I'm going to focus on Prismatic. Even though I did pick up Ascended and I do want, like, things like other collection boxes, sealed cases, I'm going to get some more. But when it comes to the ETBs, please take all attention away from Prismatic, because I will buy that case, which I did, and maybe I'll buy that booster bundle case. That's where I'm at right now. That and the Sword and Shield, things that people aren't talking about. I was even looking at a Mega Evolution base booster box case. How many people are talking about Mega Evolution? It's the second deepest set so far we've gotten from Mega Evolution from base. Then we're going to have, right, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black, both small sets. We're going to have the 30th. Doesn't really count as a mega set, but who knows what's going to be in there. Then we're going to have Rayquaza, the Rayquaza set, which as of right now, we don't know the size of the set, but it's probably going to be small again because we're seeing small on top of small sets, like back to back. So, yeah, I think the Mega Evolution base is going to be a underrated set. I think it's going to be really underrated, and I think the booster box is going to be well worth it. So we'll see. It all depends on print cycles as well, but it also has the box topper. I do like box toppers. I don't know, just things like, it's perfect when things aren't being talked about and you can see the value in it. Like, I've mentioned so many times, people following hype. It's like so crazy. Yeah, come join the Discord. Oh wow, really. I'll take that ATB. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, he does not answer me tonight. I'm not tagging. I'm gonna say this right now, guys, because I know who supports the channel. I recognize names all the time in the comment section. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can go into somebody's comment section, click on somebody's profile picture, and it tells you how many comments that person has had on that channel. And I think it even tells you how many likes they've gotten from the YouTuber on that channel. So you can see, like, I could actually go onto my YouTube studio, and it pulls me down a list to my like top supporters. It'll say the top commenter, the most hearts, like for me, the likes and all that. So I'm not tagging anyone in the description. I'm not tagging you for the video so that you can come get your giveaway when you were supposed to be somebody who supported my channel. There are people who support my channel that come to my videos every single time I drop it without me having to tag them. And I'm hoping that one of those guys does get it, even though that freaking video, like, all I had to do was announce a giveaway and everybody subscribes, which to me is like, if you don't like me, why are you subscribing? You know, but of course, you know, they want that free ETB. So I didn't think it would go like that. I think I've gained, let me tell you right now, guys, we just broke 2K yesterday. We're already at 2,090 subscribers, and that's a decent amount came from, I mean, they've been coming from my other videos, but a decent amount came from that one video. And I'm going to go to it just to tell you guys um, exactly how much came from in there. 100 guys, 146 subscribers subscribed to my channel from that one video. Were people going to organically subscribe? Most likely, every video I do, I get subscribers. But a giveaway granted me 146. Now you know how Pokeplumber, even though he's a good YouTuber, why he grew that fast. But once you stop giving away, doing giveaways, like, you don't know who's going to come by, right? Like, and I don't want that kind of crowd. I'm afraid of having that kind of crowd. So being that the comment picker does this with comments, this video has accumulated 383 comments. Now, half of those comments are mine because I literally respond to every single comment. So keep that in mind. So about 190 comments on that video. So that's 190 people. So you're each have 1 in 190 of a chance to win. So yeah, the supporters will be the ones to even find out that they won. Doesn't surprise me, actually. The guy that won, his name is Burger Buns. Burger Buns won. Are you Canadian? No, I am a New Yorker. I live in New York, in USA. I hope I win the giveaway. Yeah, like, you see, like, Jacob, like, these guys, like Jacob, Kevin, Snack, like, there's so many names. The mods, clearly they're mods because they've been around. I could tell when somebody's been here for the first time just because I don't recognize the name, and I typically recognize almost every single name, especially with a channel like mine. It's not incredibly big, so I can tell. So yeah, at 4:50 now, suddenly I don't know exactly where we were when you said that. I don't know what you were talking about exactly. Did you see my comment earlier about my son getting lucky and getting a distant rivals? Oh, I did see it. I just, Reverend Rips was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt him, and he said he only had an hour left or an hour to talk, so I didn't really want to take that time up. I was trying to do my best, but yeah, man, I'm glad he got that. That's sick. You know, so Walmart's restocking Destin Rivals ETBs already. That's fucking amazing. That's amazing. I'm just not. You know what? I got something to take care of tomorrow, and I'm not going to work. Maybe I'll make some stops tomorrow. I'll let you know. I mean, Snack, you're in the Discord. If I do it, I will let you know. And I will let you know if I'm successful or not. If I do it, I'll stop at several places. Hopefully, maybe I can get lucky. The new printing facility should be up and running first, but not Prismatic. I think Prismatic is going to be phased out soon. Walmart drop might have been the last big push. Yeah, that was probably the last big one, I think. Yeah, so I think they said the printing facility was going to be done in 2027. but I expect it to be up and running in 2028. I mean, like built machinery in there, because that probably is going to take up a lot. And also, I was a construction worker for 10 years, and I can say that nothing ever got built in time. Even with the way we are here in New York, like there's a lot of pressure here in New York. There's always somebody pushing you, telling you to do something faster or better, and they're always pushing different things every month, every quarterly. Where are we at the job? What phase? And nothing really ever got done on time. There's just too much that goes into it, and on top of that, a big part of it is payment. There's always like lawyers involved and discussions about different things not costing that much or stuff like that. So I think 2028 will be the time. But I think I said that Heroes rotates out in 2028. So it all really depends on that printing facility. How fast are they really moving? We don't know. But I'm just saying, I know that for me, when it comes to being a construction worker, I didn't really see places get constructed in time. It was always delayed by something. Things go wrong all the time. You know, it's just like any other plan. You can have a plan for something, and plans typically don't always work out. So that happens a lot in construction. So we'll see. But yeah, that is a clear thing. Prismatic is a better buy right now, because we should be getting a lot more Ascended at some point. I hope that this thing gets freaking smashed with reprints, to be honest. Check mine. What do you mean check yours? Let me know what you mean. I don't know where that's from. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm the top commenter on Poke Plumber, Poke Beard, Opossum, and Mimic Bruce channel. Yeah, Snackbird gets around. He definitely gets around. But yeah, like I said, you recognize people. That's amazing, man. Congrats on growing so quickly. Thank you. I mean, it's not quick. Other guys have like really, really blown up. Like it's really been like pretty organic, actually. To be honest, if I look at, can I look at that? Analytics, audience, subscribers. It doesn't give me from start to finish, but it's been pretty organic. It's been like, you know, see more over time. Like, yeah, you can even see this chart right here. Let's see, this is last 28 days. 365. 365. So you could even see here, like this is actually my analytics on what my channel has done. It's been pretty like organic. Like it's nobody pumps me or says anything about me. I've had some times where I get a decent jump, you know, and then I had this jump right here, which you see it's starting to like really take off. Not only was it the giveaway that I did, but like just pumping out content, being consistent is really what is like key for this stuff. So it's working out. It's working out. My hard work is paying off. So I'm trying. What's it been like 20 months we haven't had a booster box reprint? Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I know that people keep saying the Destined Rivals one hasn't been confirmed, but I heard about Destined Rivals reprints before this information came out. Now, it was assumed that they were going to be booster boxes as well, and that was going to be towards the end of this year at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen. Take that as a rumor. Take that as a rumor until we actually see that. Rev is back. Rev came back. What's up? What is that? Oh, the Metagross from Ascended Heroes. I bet you to 10.
I told you I just had to go do some ripping.
Yeah, you said dinner and ripping, he wrote to me. How many does a regular video get you? A regular video, typically on average, let's see. Where is this thing? Let's go back to my analytics. Why isn't it going back? Home. No. Come on.
Yeah, Jay, we hit that, and we hit out of 2 pink collections, we hit 3 illustration rares that are going to be grade worthy. So
wow. So on average, I'm seeing my comments. I mean, every video ranges, right? Like my recent video, my most recent one was 41 so far. after that 45, skipping the other two where I talked about the giveaway. Then it's 46, 26, 39, 23, 74, 31, 16, 33, 61. So they vary somewhere in between, I would say 30 to 60. Some of them have more, some of them have 95, 140 on this other one here. Like, it just depends. So
Jay, I'm just gonna listen. If anybody have any other questions about grading, I mean, I'll answer.
Right. So if you guys do have any more questions for Rev, he's here. If not, we're just hanging out for now, until I hop off, because I did start this stream at 7, and I have not had an opportunity to have dinner yet. Phantasmal. Oh, 450. Oh, yeah, that's nuts. We need more Phantasmal Flames booster boxes. And it's funny, I didn't get an opportunity to. I wasn't liquid at the time, so I couldn't accumulate Phantasmal like that, but I was a believer in it, and I spoke about it so much. I spoke about that Charizard, and that thing received so much hate. I can't believe, till this day, I can't believe it. So many YouTubers, like content creators, said that this box was not going to be investable, and now it's $450. It's insane. Haven't they
Jay,
been
let me ask you a
reprinting? Yes,
question related to
Surgeon
what
did
you
get a
just said.
reprint.
Let me ask you a question to what you just said. Do you believe that sometime these content creators and YouTubers will try to throw people off, make them seem as though they're not investable, when all actuality they're scooping it up?
I mean, I don't know, but I could see a world where that could happen. I mean, I don't know. I try to tell people the things that I'm doing because I feel like I'm going to succeed, so I want them to succeed as well. So I don't know. I just, I don't know. People tell me that I'm different all the time. I'm like incredibly loyal. I try to be humble. I try to be honest. I'm like super loyal. Like, I'm not for it. I don't like greed. Like, I'm not trying to sound like something that I'm not, but it's just what everybody tells me. So I can't relate. That stuff like that bothers me. Like Alex from Nostalgianomics, I watched him. I've been watching him for a long time, but I freaking hate that Galaxy Grails thing. That is like the craziest gamble. Like, I hate that he's getting involved with that, because I like his content, but that's just low to me. It's just like what are you doing next? As long as the money's calling you, like, you're gonna do whatever it tells you to do. Like, I'm good. So I could see a world where people, are saying something like about Pokémon, where they were in the comments earlier, because you were talking, I couldn't really get to them. They were talking about, do I believe that stuff about Pokémon, not only in the sense of selling, because you won't be able to afford it later on, but in the sense that he's saying that just so that he could buy from you at like 70 or 80%. I hope that that's not the case. He's offering to buy. He's basically saying like, yeah, I am buying collections, but I'm not telling you to do this so that I can buy it. He's saying, I'm telling you because this is realistic, and it will be hard to sell something expensive, and I could see that. So I don't know. It's hard to tell what someone's intentions are. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I haven't seen him screw anyone over. My name is JayKetchumTCG because I was gonna start up a store because of him. He put out a lot of good information. He had multiple videos on how to develop a website. He showed you different ways to maybe come up with your own name. He showed you how to make your logo for your website. He showed you how to list product. He told you about, fees and all these kinds of things, and how to maneuver in the market, and how he started off with just one booster box, and you can too, which is true. As long as you have a long-term mindset. He taught a lot, and he gave out secrets and gave everybody the opportunity to be a competitor of his. So I would give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think Pokémon is trying to screw anybody over. I could see a world where somebody that does do that. Of course, like Alex is also, it's like a big conflict of interest. He sells packs. He actually sells packs every single day and does nothing else for a living, and now only does rip and ships. So there's a conflict of interest there. You're going to keep pumping every single set up for the most part, and justify the cost. Like he tried to justify $18 per pack on Ascended Heroes that just came out. It was clear that there was no supply, and for that reason they were at $18. So why did you do that? Is it because you wanted to sell the packs? It could be. It might not be. You know, like I said, I don't know everyone's intentions, but there is a clear conflict of interest there. So you don't know what people's intentions are. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I don't really, because we don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people forget it's supply and demand. Regardless, you know, I have an economics degree and I understand supply and demand, and you know, the demand is so much higher right now than the supply, and that's one of the reasons why I'm very careful. You know, just kind of thinking about grading again. I'm very careful when people start talking about tag is moving, tag is booming, because the supply of tag slabs are nowhere near what some of the other companies are. And so if you have a very committed group of individuals, they could literally push the product, push a slab to a price that makes it appear to be the same as a PSA. But when they're not doing that, will it still have the same liquidity? Supply and demand runs everything. And if there's a demand for something and there's not supply, you're going to see prices go
Yep.
up. And I think that's what's going on with the singles for Ascended Heroes. If you go to TCG Player, some of the SIRs that people are talking about, if you at any given day, there may be 12 to 15 that's available to sell. And that's the part of
And also
grading
nobody,
that,
and also nobody's ripping it.
correct.
People are keeping
Yes,
it.
yes.
So the singles aren't appearing.
Yes. And I think that's the part that people forget. There may be a pop of 38. Let's just say 38. I'm just using a small number. But at any given time, there may be only 2 or 3 of those on the open market. So if you really want it, you're going to have to pay
You got to pay up.
significant for it. And that's what people forget about the Charizard that you were just mentioning. I want to pull it too. I want it in my collection for PC. Even though there may be 8,000 of them, there may not be that many available at a specific time. And that's what people have to remember, that the cards that are in people's collection in PSA 10 are in their collection. They're not on the open market. I mean, we talked about the fact that my son has a Moonbaron Black Label. There's only 138, but really and truly, there's only 137 because he's not selling his.
Right,
And
right.
so people don't ever think about the fact that even though it says, oh, well, there's 20,000 of these that been graded, how many are available on the open market at any given time? That tells you everything you need to know, because if there's not a high supply, then people will aggressively try to get that. That's why I believe the guy who you mentioned earlier bought the Giratina for $3K. I mean, it may not have been available, and he say, okay, I may need to get it now.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I said to him. I said, hey, listen, if it's for your collection, and I'm going to tell you this for the future, if it's for your collection right now, it's not the time to buy. If you think this card is going to take off because of how expensive it is, then yeah, maybe later on in the year, maybe it hits 4K and you could just sell it. But if it's for your PC, just from here on moving forward, because I think he was new to the channel, I was like, don't buy in these bull cycles. Like in this bull period, this is not where you want to buy. Unless you're keeping something for your PC. And even then, if you have the patience and you're going to be in Pokemon for a while and you're buying something, you're willing to spend 3K, it means you're going to be here for a while. You could have saved money if you just waited for the bear market. Like you could wait. It's not, they're going to be out there in the bear market. There's going to be a lot of people wanting to sell that card because they want some of that money that they lost in that card.
So Jay, I'm going to show you a funny something I did. I was just messing around, needed something to rip, and start ripping. I have the full set of these. Yeah, have you seen these before?
What is that?
These are called.
Oh, hold on. Can I do this? No, that's not what I wanted to do.
These are.
I wanted to expand your your thing, but it doesn't let me, like, just your
These
camera.
are the anniversary cards from My Little Pony.
Oh my gosh.
Eh,
They're probably expensive too.
I've pulled them. There's none graded, so I'm gonna actually send all of these to CGC because I think they would look great in a CGC pristine holder. What people forget, My Little Pony, I think, is one of the highest IPs. I mean, there are a lot of people, you know, that, and so I'm always dabbling in little things. Um, it's just something, and so I have all 7 of them, and I'm gonna try to get them graded and then move them together because you never know. The buy-in is real low. I mean,
Right. Well, hold on. Let me get to some of these comments before I continue on. Price went up. I think they're talking about surging, where the price went up, but surging. The reprint was last year, but a lot of it came to the market. That's why you keep seeing that, regardless of people buying booster boxes, it keeps showing that there's 1,000 boxes or more than 1,000 on the site, because these it's like a sales tactic. Instead of them listing all of their boxes at one price, they like to trickle them out. And if market moves up, they'll trickle a little more, but they won't give it to you all, so it looks a little more scarce than what it really is. And they'll keep trickling them out just little by little. They'll put 2 boxes on, 3 boxes on. They'll keep listing them. They don't care how much they have as long as it keeps moving. So just keep that in mind for what you're seeing. But surging is still one of the better pickups, regardless of how big that reprint was. It is a good set, it really is. But there was a lot of them printed though, so I don't know if that's going to make it struggle down the line. But when it comes to whether it's a good set or not, it is a really good set. Thanks for letting me hang out, Jay. You are a cool dude and a great tuber for the hobby. Keep doing what you're doing, and you will grow just fine. Thanks for being so real. Thank you, Landon. I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm hoping people resonate with me with these things, because there's a lot of things in society and the economy overall that I don't vibe with, that I don't like. And it's I mean, you'll see it. I am a certain way. I'll always be like this. And I'm glad you guys are just liking my personality, I guess, because I think that matters. People might think that you're going to their channel just for their, the information, but you have to like them as well. If you don't like this person, if he's arrogant or just something about his personality just rubs you the wrong way, it's like, I used to watch a lot of rips with Alex, and I don't want to beat on him because I don't dislike him in any way. He didn't do anything to me, but as time went on and things changed from just him starting to rip, me and my girl used to buy rips there and watch. And then it turned into a thing where every single time it was more like the money was everything. And now if I put it on, my girl's like, I don't like him anymore. Like I'm turned off by the idea of watching his ripping ships, because like the Galaxy Grails thing and just many other things that she's noticed. Even she's not as involved as I am, but she's noticed it, So I don't want to fall into that. Just being real, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you guys keep liking the content and just me being me. Smash with the reprints. Pokemon wants people fighting in stores. Yeah, I think it's bad, I guess, for the public, like in the public eye, because people are like, wow, like look at those degenerates, fighting over Pokemon. But in a sense, Pokemon is also like, yes, they're fighting for our products. Like, yes, you know what I mean? Because there's no business out there that wouldn't want that scenario, because everything's being bought up. Yeah, but there's a lot of people that grow a lot slower. Yeah, that's true too. But it's all everything, right? It's all, like I said, the personality. You guys have to like me for being me. You have to like my content. You have to like the way that I think. You could think that I'm an idiot. You could think that I'm a horrible investor when it comes to Pokemon sealed, or what I talk about when it comes to grading, or my ideas, what I want to do. You could think I'm a complete idiot. You're not going to want to listen to me. So it all depends,
Hey Jay, the one thing I think that has happened in Pokemon is that there are a lot of people that have moved into Pokemon that had nothing to do with Pokemon. We talk a lot about the sneaker market and how that has pretty much collapsed. And a lot of those individuals moved over into Pokemon. And I've got another buddy, he's on the West Coast, heavy into that market. He and I've talked to him to try to understand. He said we are so different than the Pokemon market. And what has happened is, so you have that market that has come in, then you have all of the new Pokemon people that come in, and there is just not enough product to satisfy that number of people coming into there. I don't care what Pokemon says about we're gonna print. There's just not enough product. I don't care how much they print. There's not enough product to satisfy the players, the collectors, the investors, the flippers, the botters, the scalp. There's just not enough product, and it's all about supply and demand.
Right, 100%. Mel said maybe you need some short forms. So one thing about shorts is that a lot of the people that watch short form videos don't watch long form videos. And so if you gain subscribers that are, let's say I put out shorts and I gain like 200 subscribers off of those shorts as I'm doing the long form videos, those people that view shorts only are going to scroll past my long form videos. And every single time that they scroll past, it puts a negative impact in my videos when it comes to the algorithm, because YouTube is going to see it as a video that somebody didn't want to watch because they scrolled past it. Which has to do with your click-through rate, is what they call it. So every time you get an impression, which is every time that it shows up on somebody's screen, that number in comparison to the amount of times that they clicked and watched the video. So now I have, a certain amount of people that are watching my long form, and then all these guys that come in for the short form are going to keep swiping by, and my click-through rate goes down, which means YouTube pushes your video out even less. So it kind of counters. Like, it's so weird. I don't like how YouTube does it, to be honest.
But I don't watch short form. I don't.
Right. But if the people who do come to my channel from the short form videos won't watch my long ones, and it will do bad, like damage to my channel. So you could dribble some short form things out, but it could hurt you at the same time. Roxy with the super chat. Thank you, Roxy. You do too much sometimes, man. Congrats on all the success, Jay. You deserve it, dude. I really enjoy watching the lives. Thank you for being here, man. Roxy is one of the bigger supporters of the channel, like all the time. It's why he's a mod as well here, thank you. Smash the like. I feel like I'm falling behind. I'm 20 minutes behind on the comments. Jeez. Surgeon Sparks booster box have been flooded to the streets. I assume they're going to do other sets as well. DR ain't about to be left out. I think that eventually, right now, I think this is the reason why they're scaling to a bigger facility. This is the reason why Pokemon is not trying to leave money on the table. There's no way in the hottest bull run they've ever had, they're going to sit there and not provide enough supply for the demand and lose out on all that money. No way. No way. I listen, I know that we haven't had, reprints, but I think at some point, maybe, hopefully we get some destined. We don't know at what point this will be, where from a certain set moving forward, we're going to get a lot of. But eventually, I think Pokemon is going to really, really try and catch up. It happened before with Chilling Reign, when demand was high then, and they didn't have this printing facility. Now with this printing facility, like what's going to happen here now? Like,
Jay, have you been seeing that Destin ETBs have been dropping in Walmart today?
Somebody posted here that Karma, what was it, Karma? No, Snack Bread said that his son got an ETB at Walmart. It's crazy. Vending machines, yeah. But now I'm hearing that they're getting rid of vending machines like everywhere. So I don't know what that's gonna happen, what that's gonna do to the, the collectors and all you guys that live by one and get to get stuff cheap there and rip them. But I'm hearing from a few places, including Rev, that they're gonna get rid of like all vending machines. So I hope that's not the case, but look,
it's a financial risk. What people don't understand is, if I go into Target and I'm going as a shopper, and all hell breaks loose over in the Pokemon, and it spill over, and I inadvertently get knocked over and fall, the company is liable for that. And I believe they're starting to figure out, is it really worth it to have stuff like that possibly happening in our store?
Yeah. Yeah, this situation, I don't know. Just looking at this comment because he's saying that he thinks it's a rumor, but I don't know. Well, we'll have to see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Pokemon stopped their vending machines. There was a time where Target stopped stocking Pokemon, so nothing will surprise me, to be honest. Nothing. There's a battle going on internally at Pokemon. Bad publicity is hard to shake. Possible. Snorlax Paper Shredder trademark. What? I don't know what you're trying to. What is that? Where is that even coming from? This he's one of the funny guys in the Discord. Moonbreon Black Label went for 30K and the Phantasmal's Hard went for 48K. Yeah. Black Labels go crazy, especially that Moonbreon hit an all-time high. And that Phantasmal Flames, yo, I talked about that thing so much. That card is amazing. How's it going? Just tuned in. Joe Bleasy, I'm sorry I'm getting to your comment late. I'm trying to catch up now, but welcome to the stream. I plan on getting off real soon. I haven't had dinner, and it's about to be 10 o'clock in 17 minutes. So, My Little Ponies, My Little Pony Galarian Rapidash. Everything comes back to Chilling Reign. Oh my God. Yeah, Fino loves Chilling Reign. I mean, Chilling Reign has some really, really cool cards. But, you know, just looking back, like, this is why I think Lost Origin is going to push. Like, yeah, Fusion Strike is cool. It's already at 1K, though. And it's going to keep going to Gengar VMAX. You know, I think I'm going to get myself one Fusion Strike. The problem is that it's 1K. But Lost Origins Trainer Gallery is pushing. It has been for a while. The Brilliant Stars, like my girl, I was showing her these sets because I knew she didn't remember. And I was like, do you remember what the Brilliant Stars sets look like? And I showed her all the other ones with their training galleries before I showed Brilliant. And then I showed her Brilliant, and her eyes just like lit up. She's like, oh my God, I forgot about this set. And I was like, yeah, this is an amazing set. Like, and the training gallery keeps pumping. So I think Brilliant is going to be the next big mover. With Lost, I think Lost, Brilliant, and Silver, just because I have it on my screen right here too. It's crazy. And he's talking about Chilling. I don't know if Chilling's gonna move. For some reason, people don't talk about Chilling Reign. And that Calyrex, nobody talks about Calyrex at all. Like that's the thing that holds Battle Styles back. You have all these Urshifus, nobody talks about it, even though the cards look great. No one talks about it. So let me guess, the sneaker people think that Pokemon people are crazy with all the fights at restocks. No, the sneaker people are the guys that will fight you because they're 1000% in it for the money, and they don't really care about how good Charizard is or nothing like that. And this is like, I made a video about the things that make a difference in Pokemon right now, and I mentioned everything from collectors to us to investors, even though I'm between both, to the flippers and to the botters, you know. And the biggest impactful thing here are botters, the people who are spending money on these bots, which are the sneaker people. They had already bots for sneakers, now they're here, and they do not care how much they have to spend. I saw a video recently of some guys filling up like a U-Haul with Ascended Heroes tin displays, sealed. And they cared. They didn't care about them because most people want them sealed in pristine condition. At some point, they started throwing them in, like actually like a football, like throwing them. This is how little they care, and it's going to be really, as long as there is a buck to be made in Pokemon, it's going to be really, really hard to get them out. And I can't think of a single way to get them out of here. Not a single, unless they made bots illegal, which they're not making them illegal. Even though there's a weird,
they're not leaving.
Yeah, there's like a silver lining, which is weird. If you bought it out like arena tickets, like because there's limited seating, that's illegal because you could literally bottom them all out and nobody can get in. Now for Pokemon, it should be somewhat the same thing because the amount of products that get printed are limited. They're limited no matter how much. Even if they print 2 million of them, it's still a limit. I don't know. It's weird, and I get kind of frustrated with them. It's like all-time high greed right there. Cardboard Wealth, late to the stream, but I just checked Dexter Roberts booster box sales volume on TCG Player. What is going on? That's insane. So wait, did they just start moving? This is what I'm saying. Like, just going back to what Karma was saying in the Discord. This stuff can feel like really overwhelming because every single day, every minute, every hour, something can happen, right? And then it makes you feel like you should have bought in on something, or you should be buying this, or you should be buying that, because everything is just moving. And so, yeah, Destined, yeah, some buy volume in the last, is this the third? Probably like 70 boxes bought in the last few days for Destined Rivals. It's back up to $600. Just take your time, make the play when you want to make it. Like I told you guys, I'm glad Ascended Heroes is here to take away attention from Prismatic, so that because I bought that case, right? So like, it's gonna go to rotation in a year. The same thing as I'm talking about Sword. It's so funny. I don't think that I'm influencing anybody to talk about Sword and Shield, but the same feeling that I'm getting that we're gonna go into Sword and Shield and it's gonna start pumping. Now some other YouTubers are talking about Sword and Shield. But at the same time, it's not the majority. It's only a few guys that I'm seeing talk about Sword and Shield, which is myself and Chuck and Plumber talks a lot about Sword and Shield. But that's it. No one else is talking about Sword and Shield. And I think that before it does take off, this is when you buy. But a lot of people people will run to Destin right now because people bought and buy. Like, you're following the hype, you're chasing at all times.
But Jay, I think the thing that people forget is, for instance, I'm a Gen 1 guy. And so products that have Generation 1, 151 is a great product, of course, Destined Rivals. But there are people who are coming into the hobby in Scarlet and Violet. They could care less right now about anything Sword and Shield. I mean, it's really a recency bias. People have a recency bias. They don't. At one time, some of the grails that we call grails now weren't considered grails. I mean, most people don't even realize that when Evolving Skies dropped, the Rayquaza was the chase,
right?
Not the Moonbreon. People forget that. I mean, everybody wanted the Rayquaza. Moonbreon wasn't any. And then over time, the Moonbreon became more and more. People draw. It's a recency bias, and like right now, everyone's on the Pikachu. Pikachu's gonna sell, but once you get to Rayquaza, once you get to 30th anniversary, you're gonna see some of those cards. Most of us are not patient enough to wait for the dip. And I heard you say, and I applaud you for this. You said you weren't liquid. You didn't have the resources to buy in at certain times.
Well,
and I think that's important, because you have to have some capital to take advantage of the dips. And unfortunately, a lot of people who are coming into the hobby right now don't have the capital to take advantage of some of those big dips.
Well, listen, I don't know. That's just being honest. It's so funny. I don't lie about how much I have or whatever. I don't try to make it seem like I have the most. I know some people do, but I don't. I don't see how that benefits me. I'm like, who am I lying to? The truth is that the average person isn't liquid all the time.
No.
You're just not. So that's why one of the things that I've said that was almost like a slogan for a little while on my channel is, do what you can when you can. Don't go overboard. Just whenever you have the opportunity, and this I do say a lot, that's when you take advantage. When you have an opportunity that you can buy anything, and you're just liquid at that moment, you have a certain amount of cash flow you didn't have, and that you could use towards this. It's not going to hurt you. Then you start looking for plays that are available. Then don't go back to the play that Lost Origin was 3 months ago, for example. Don't do that. Don't, at that moment, as if I acquired money today, and let's say if it was 2K, and I'm looking at the market and seeing at that moment, I have to look at what the best play is. And then just take advantage there and just be happy with it. And then, even if in the next week other plays come up and you can't take advantage, it's okay. You go at your own pace. I am not a wealthy individual myself at all. I'm not no damn Rudy. I'm not no Sojonomics. Like I said before, I am gonna buy some of these Sword and Shield booster boxes, and they're quite pricey. But then I'm gonna stop. I have to, because it's just real life, and then I can make a little place here and there or whatever, and hopefully There are some things that I'll even move before I continue, because not every product is meant for the same thing. Like I said before, even when it comes to like a booster box being a display piece, maybe a ETB being a display piece, but then you have collection boxes that are going to get ripped. Booster bundles going to get ripped. You also have, as somebody who's buying sealed, you have different things. For example, the collection boxes could be a short-term hold instead of a long-term hold, right? So now you could hold your booster boxes for long term, but you could flip the collection boxes to fund your booster boxes and to get that money back that you already spent and become a little more liquid even at that time. Get to a zero cost basis or whatever it is. So like this case of Ascended Heroes poster collections, maybe I don't keep them forever. Maybe I see an opportunity when I say, hey, you know what? I have a sealed case. I could flip that case and put that into maybe a case of sealed ETBs of some kind, something that I can take advantage of in that moment. So even the plays for us, for the people who hold, they can mean different things. They could serve different purposes. So I hope people like understand that, at least, because not everything is meant for a long-term hold. You might not want to hold a collection box. They also take up much more room, than the ETB does, so, or a booster box, I mean, because they're the smallest things with the most packs. So
Blooming Waters is huge. I mean, that's a huge box.
That thing is up there. That thing is huge. Look, you see, as a matter of fact, if you look closely, you have 1, 2, and 3 booster boxes lined across the whole thing, and it's still not as long as that box is. So, like, just certain things. Hopefully, people can like understand some of these things, and if you have questions, speak up, because everything has a different purpose. So I actually have these. I have like these like 4-pack collection boxes for Chilling Reign. I'm thinking about moving those soon, because that could go into something else, and I don't think those are going to do anything crazy, but I could still get the cash for that. I do have other stuff that I don't want to move, though. Like I have Crown Zenith, Sea and Sky boxes, because it's either you have the ETB or those packs, and those packs are $20-something each right now. And I have a whole bunch of other loose ones as well. So just certain things that I have to look through, that I don't want to move, or that I do want to move. I have to make decisions on those, but that everything has a purpose. So, and sometimes that's time frame for how long you hold.
Crown Zenith Galarian tins are still undervalued, in my opinion. The ones that have the 3,
especially the one with the Moltres.
Yes, I mean, I think it's like,
I don't have any. I don't have a single one of those. To be honest, I would like one just to display.
Okay.
There's a guy on Instagram his name is M2 Vault. He sells acrylics, and he actually, I guess there's an acrylic now for those tins.
Really? So, wow.
I actually would love to display like the Charizard ones. Like these ones that we just got are actually really nice. Let me see. Not gonna lie, I've ripped a few My Little Pony packs, says Mel. He says those cards look really nice. That's good to hear, man. Just that the quality is there. They're behind like 5 sets. I think you're talking about Pokemon, right? $2. I apologize for Sylvester's behavior. Oh my god, him and Sylvester have been going back and forth in the Discord. It's been pretty funny. Thank you, Karma, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it, man. $800 gains for everyone. Yeah, just some people should remember that even with the $800 gains, it's okay to give up 5%.
It's never too soon to take profits.
Or 10. It just, yeah, I think it's not worth the fight. That's why I tell you guys, don't be afraid. You go on eBay and it says best offer. So what? So they say no. Okay. It actually gives you 5 total tries. Take them all. Like, who cares? There's going to be another seller right then and there. Like, that's why you should look at it from the other side, right? Because as a customer, I'm telling you now that if you do not want to take my deal, I will very willingly go on to the next person.
Yeah.
And now you lost out on that deal just because you didn't want to give up that 5 or 10%, even though you're up 800%. Like, I love Chilling Reign. Yeah, it's a nice set. It is really nice, but I don't know. The majority of the hobby isn't really going for it right now. And Pheno's happy about you saying that right there, just so you know. I'm hoping to. It looks like the weekend's not going to be. It's going to be like raining. There's a show on Saturday in New York and on Sunday. I wanted to go to at least one of them, but I don't know. I hate traveling around in the rain. I was going to be looking for like singles and just scope the place out and see what it's like. Especially, I haven't been to a single show. And I want to vend one day, but I also want to see, like, I've seen videos of shows in other places, but I want to see what a show is like in New York. Um, and you know, a lot of things have been getting in the way for me going, but like I want to go soon, and I want to see what it's like here because we first off we're overcrowded, overpopulated, and I don't know. A lot of those videos you guys see are in New York, people fighting and whatever. Not the vending machine ones though. We don't have vending machines, but the Best Buy stuff, the Target stuff. Like I remember seeing a video where these guys were fighting at a Target, and I mean at a GameStop, and I was like, I know that GameStop. Like it's so sad, but the amount of people that are here, like the competition, people are always trying to make money. Who knows? The days of $100 or $200 chase cards are over. We are on 1K range. Yeah, yeah, for the big ones, like Ascended Heroes. Yeah, that was actually funny to see how the day was overtaken by the movie. Yeah. Well, the Fae, yeah, the Ray is what he meant to say. I mean, you might see that happen here, even with the sets we have here. Whether it be, for example, the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved, maybe somebody says, you know, we don't really care for that card anymore. Maybe the Altaria is going to be the chase. I can't wait to see what happens with Temporal Forces. We had Iron Crown as the top chase originally. Then we had Raging Bolt. Now it's a Ghastly illustration rare. And I think that set, like, people hate on it for no reason. Like, the art's amazing there. There's a lot of cool Pokemon, even though it's like an alternate universe Pokemon. I think that's cool. I think that, for example, if you like Raikou, you might say, yo, there's a freaking alternate universe future Pokemon. Like, I would want to see it if I liked Raikou, which would be the Raging Bolt. So I think that people just talk, like, all this talk about the crowns, for example. You must have heard that, Rev, somewhere. People complaining about the crowns. So why is Prismatic so valuable?
People don't care. That's just content and clickbait. It's kind of like everybody was talking about, oh, I hate the Charizard because the writing's over the Charmanders. I'm like, what? You know, I'm like, that really.
I heard that too.
I'm like, that's a beautiful card. It's probably the best looking Charizard.
I heard that too.
And they're like,
and they were kind of telling people to buy the Japanese one because it doesn't cover the Charmanders. Like, for real? Okay, buy it. Good luck. Now he went back to that comment. Just think about a Snorlax paper shredder. Okay, like you're feeding it through the mouth and it just eats everything. I get it now. And thank you for the $1.50 super sticker, Sylvester. These
hey,
guys
Jay, one of the things I think people need to do, and this kind of, you have a product that is out of rotation that people need to really mine, and that's Paldea Evolve. Paldea Evolve.
It's one that I was going to talk about that one soon.
Oh, okay.
I was just because.
Go ahead.
Just because of what the singles are doing, and not only that, I was watching the show on Netflix, and the Pokemon that are there, and like there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Rayquaza's in the show still. That Japanese Captain Pikachu came from the show. Oh shoot. So I think there's a lot of underrated things there. Like, I mean, the potential down the line, like these are the Gen 9 Pokemon, right? And just like we're seeing with every other generation, this set is specifically for Gen 9. And with every generation comes a different generation of group of kids that are going to find these, and they're going to love them. They're going to have nostalgia. And Paldea Evolved, I think, will be that moving forward. Just like whenever that Winds and Waves things comes out, whenever that era comes out, Gen 10, there's going to be a kid out there that loves it. You know, whether Pokemon is going to be going crazy at the time or not is a whole different story.
Right.
But we're seeing that now. Like, I don't find any nostalgia when it comes to Gen 5, but there are people that love Gen 5. It's their favorite gen. You know, so that's what I see with Paldea. That's the potential I see there.
Well, I see it from the perspective of grading. From the standpoint, the gem rate for Paldea Evolve, not only is it tough to gem the Magikarp, every last one of those illustration rares are tough to gem. And
Yeah.
so if you go down and start looking for some plays, that's what I typically do. I've gone through that entire list, and I actually have several that are at PSA right now. The likelihood I'm not going to 10, but if I do, the profit is so tremendous. I have an Armor Rouge that's there. It got a CGC 9.5, and I was like,
Damn.
I cracked it, and I was like, I'm sending this to PSA. So I'm like, it's almost a 10, and if that, I think that Armor Rouge actually has a gem rate of 9%.
Yeah, I think that's one of the lower ones. I think it is 9%.
That one and the Tarantula, it's low.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where you make your money. That's really where because there's a group of people out there that love buying low pop cards.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you can get a low pop card, hey, that person who mentioned earlier only having $100, you get a low pop card in a 10, all of a sudden you can have $1,000 overnight now to put into your collection.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's clearly why a lot of these cards that cost $5 are 350 in a 10, Alexa is asking thoughts on the Destin Rivals PC ETB time to sell. Now, honestly, it's already at $550. The idea is also not to look back, right? Make the sale, realize gains, and that's it. If you are going to sit here and just now that I'm seeing there were a few ETBs that sold recently. If you're going to sit here and worry about losing potential gains, you're never going to sell, because we know that the older Pokemon gets, the more scarce it becomes, the more valuable it becomes. So that means theoretically it's forever going to continue to gain value, and you're never going to sell it. So, I mean, I say now just because we're in a bull market and anyone can sell right now. Like anyone. Like people without many sales on eBay are selling. Like it's people on TCG Player that don't have a big reputation are selling. It all depends on when you're ready for it. Like, are you ready to realize gains now? I mean, there's nothing wrong with selling your Destin Rivals PC ETB for $550 to $600 after you paid $60 for it. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, and like I said before, like if you're that person, which a lot of people do this all the time, like they feel like they lost because they sold too early. I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're worried about realizing gains, you'll never sell, because if you're worried about just missing out on some gains, you'll never sell. Everything keeps rising. Everything. I can't. There's not a thing that's not. I'm not even going to try. There's not a thing that's not rising. Shrouded Fable's rising, and Shrouded Fable gets trashed. It's rising. Shrouded is rising.
Hey Jay, I think the question that people should ask, what Alexa said, if you sell, what are you going to do with the money? Whether it's going to improve your life, it's going to put you on vacation, are you going to put it in? If you don't have a reason to sell, then you're better off holding on, because you're just going to waste it. That's why I still have 7 151 10 displays, because if I sell them, I don't really have anywhere to put that money right now. So I'm okay with just, hey, I've been holding on to them for over a year now, so it's no big deal.
I mean, just keep in mind, if you are not somebody that wants to hold for a long time after their bull run ends, whenever it does end, I don't know when, I can't foretell that for you. We can speculate. What was being speculated ever since last year was after the 30th, it's going to crash, because after every anniversary, the thing crashes. But now everybody's changing their mind. Now no one can see the crash in the foreseeable future. Nobody can say anything about it right now.
Rayquaza is after the 30th. And
And like I said, there with that list that let out all this stuff that has been accurate. All this Mega Dream came out accurate with that list that leaked. Pitch Black, Rayquaza, the 30th. There was also a Ruby Sapphire one, and if there's a Ruby Sapphire one, get ready because that one's gonna go crazy. So I'm just saying, no, now people, instead of assuming that it's gonna go out of rotation after the 30th, people are assuming that it's gonna go at sorry, not a rotation, sorry, that we're gonna go into a bear market, not after the 30th, but when Gen 10 comes out. Now that's the thing I'm hearing now, that people are, it's all speculation.
right.
But like I said, if you're not a long-term holder and you don't want to be waiting on realizing gains one day, or you don't want to watch it pull back a little bit, and then retrace, and you don't want to just deal with that headache, then now in this bull market where anyone can sell is the time to sell. You know, if you don't want to hold on and you feel like it's going to bother you, it's going to sit in the back of your mind, I should have sold when it was at 550. Now it's down to 450 or 400, because it can happen. This is the biggest bull market we've ever had. If we have a bear market next year, those PCTBs can drop to 400 because sellers start undercutting each other because they want to make money.
Right.
So now we can pull back to 400. Right. So if you don't want to deal with any of that headache, yes, sell now. I mean, it's an easy answer to me because it's never been this easy to sell before when it comes to Pokemon. So I hope that helped. Snackbird said, that's what brought me to your channel, seeing that you're similar to me, not someone that's able to just throw thousands around like no big deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids yet. Opportunities are going to arise from my job. I'm assuming sometime within this year. And I'll be working a lot of overtime. I might even be making less videos just because I can't keep up. But it'll make me much more liquid. And hopefully I can update you guys here. I'm really worried about what that's going to happen, because the job that I have now, I'm told if I want to, I can do overtime 7 days a week when the time comes.
Wow.
And yeah, some guys are really fond of doing 4 weekdays and 1 weekend day. And so then now what? Now I got to come home at 9 p.m. and try to record a video. That's impossible. To wake up for the next day, and or then those 2 days that I have off, I only allow myself 2 videos. I'm gonna have to really come home, hustle, and like make a video at 9. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's gonna have to happen if I want to keep it up. But it'll make me more liquid. Opportunities come different for everyone. But I'm gonna have to sacrifice for something like that. Clearly, my time is extremely valuable, as is everyone else's. That's what I'm gonna have to sacrifice to be able to do what I'm doing, or what I want to do, maybe. But yeah, I'm your average person. I'm your average person walking down the street. I'm not some wealthy individual. So that's why I don't talk to you guys about Evolving Skies booster box cases. You know what I'm saying? Because
I don't
the
either.
average, right? To the average person, like, what does that sound like? To the average, I mean, early last year, I was liquid as well as I am right now, right? And the Evolving Skies case at the time, I think I could have got them. I think they were at like 6 or 7K. They're at like 16 right now. And like now for me, that's like I could have got it back then and I didn't. And now it's like, oh well. Yeah,
you
it's
just
over.
missed that opportunity.
Yeah, it's over, you know, and you know, it's just, even making a big purchase like that is like, should I do this? Like, it's a big purchase, man. It's not something that you're accumulating over time. It's letting out 7K in one shot is not easy. And for those that are wanting to buy a case now at 16, that's not going to be easy, you know.
I think the reason that people are going to have other opportunities to sell is that we have an industry that we did not have the last time there was a bull market, and that's rip and ship. You will always be able to unload sealed products because rip and shippers, streamers, they have to have product.
Yeah, as long as the demand keeps up.
Yeah, as long as the demand. So as long as there is a demand, you will be able to offload. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to give up a little bit of your profits, but like Jay said earlier, I mean, if wherever you're buying, I mean, if you bought in at the low, I mean, this is one of the things I didn't say earlier, and I want to make sure to let people know. So I I give up about 17% in my grade to consignment. About 17%. So I pretty much on average 83%. But I don't pay any of the eBay fees. My consignment person pays that. I basically, as the cards go up in value, so if I sell a card over $500, they take less. Up to, if they one sell for $10,000, not likely I'm going to have a card that sells for $10,000, but I'll get 93%. But I was willing to give up whatever that percentage was to not have to do all that work. It was worth it to me to let somebody else who does it every day take pictures, post it online, get the money. It was worth it. I was willing to pay that. I view it as me going out to a restaurant, have $100 meal, and then paying 17% or 20%, whatever the tip is. That's how I view the fees now.
Right. I mean, you got to change the mindset, because if not, you don't even allow yourself to move, to make plays that can benefit you. Kevin said my Miracle Twins box I bought a month ago is $700. Isn't that the Japanese Unified Minds? I did look it up. It's a beautiful looking box though. It's these. These are beautiful. 1.2, 1.3K. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's a really old box. Goes to show that Japanese can appreciate, which people say they don't. It just lags behind. But the top tier ones always. Bro, just bought their Moltres promo in a 10. I think it's talking about the Crown Zenith 10 promo. Graham, what's going on, brother? Welcome back. Always welcome, man. I agree. I hate the top 1 or 3 chase cards or like 150 max. Now I'm lucky to get one of the lower ends SIRs for 100, 150. Maybe the Ray passes the Moonbreon again. Pokemon, yeah, anything can change. Anything can change. With all the hate that the Mewtwo was getting from Destin Rivals, I thought it was going to swap, but I couldn't see exactly what was going to stop with it. Maybe the Garchomp, but you never know what's going to change. Look at the Fusion Strike. That Espeon could be the top chase. That Espeon is a really cool card in Fusion. Maybe the original sentiment of the market was correct and the Razor tanking. Maybe. It's a crazy, really popular.
I hope Pokemon, it does. Though. I have the Ray in the 10, so.
Gen 5 grew on me. I started watching the shows and Black Boy White Boy dropped. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. As generations go, you're going to find people who are going to find nostalgia in these things like that. That isn't just Gen 1. The people behind us. If I'm 36 and I was 11 years old when Pokemon came out, that means everybody from I would say maybe 5 and below. I don't know. I think 5-year-olds were still loving Pokemon at the time. It would have to be somebody that wasn't even understanding the freaking language. Somebody who was 3 years old and didn't really comprehend what exactly was going on. So whoever was 3, whenever they hit a certain age where they started comprehending, you could think about what gen was around during that time. Maybe it was Gen 3, maybe Gen 3. Maybe you got your Ruby and Sapphire collectors there, even though we all were around for it. But as they grew and they became, they were 11 years old, they probably hit Gen 5. And I had already outgrown Pokemon. I was in high school, college. So that it goes in cycles that way. If Pokemon continues, it'll just keep doing the same exact thing. You just got to go with these generations that are going to find nostalgia. Yeah, I was reading my baby a book, had the live stream in the back going. Oh, okay. I didn't know you had a child. Oh, that's right. You did. Didn't you see you had 3? Monster. I don't understand how people are buying 151, for example, 600 for ETB when the chase card isn't. Well, they're not going to open that. That ETB is not for opening. Right. It's only for displaying.
Right.
That's why I said every product is going to serve a purpose. A ETB, like a prismatic one, will serve the purpose as a displayable piece. And then you have the collection boxes will be ripped. Booster bundles will be ripped as well. Everything else aside from the SPC, which is also a displayable item, but can also get ripped. It will also get really, really expensive. So they'll probably continue to get displayed more than getting ripped when it comes to the SPC. But then you have everything else. Everything else below that is a rippable item for ripping shippers or just to come in person, maybe at a card show, because they have 3-pack blisters there all the time. That'll be that. But nobody's ripping that 151 ETB. You know, it's not like a 151 booster bundle or the one. Look, he's gonna show us. I'm watching him. He clicked away by mistake. He was about to show us something, I'm pretty sure. His shelf. But they'll rip a Blooming Waters box way before they rip that ETB. That's not getting ripped. It is expensive though, but this is the same thing with like these Sword and Shield boxes, right? Fusion Strike is at 1K. Nobody's gonna open, especially with the hit rates in there. It's not nowhere close to worth opening Fusion Strike. So those are just displayable. They're not gonna get ripped at all. Yeah, I got cooked in the Prismatic TV. Promo's the best card. Not bad. Look, yeah, I told you he was gonna show us something on his shelf. The 151 Minitin displays. He got an SPC, all those Paldean Fates tins, the Charizard UPC, Prismatic SPC, another one, and more tins. Those tins are the Striker tins with they have Evolving Skies packs in them, both of those. And then he's got sleeved blisters in those containers there. The funniest part is when you go open your shelf. Your cabinetry somewhere.
Oh, okay. There. Hold on a second.
That's the funniest part because you know it doesn't belong in there, but it's in there. This was the part that made me laugh. This one and other spots too. Look, you know that's not meant for that right there at all. That's too funny. 151. Oh, there you go. Somebody already answered. It's a collectible. Pokepanner, what's going on, bro? I know you commented earlier, but I couldn't get to the comment with Rev talking earlier. If we get a Ruby and Sapphire like Black and White, my Arceus help us. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. So now people don't see the bear market anytime soon, right? Even though we thought it was coming after the 30th. Thoughts on Pokemon cards turning into sport cards with numbers and quantity. I don't know anything about sports cards. Maybe Rev can speak more on that. He said, thoughts on Pokemon cards turning into the sport cards with numbers and quantity. What does that mean? Rev, you hear me?
Oh, I think he's referring about serialized cards. I don't see Pokemon.
Yeah, they don't need it.
Serialized cards. I do not see that.
They don't need it. I didn't know that's what he meant, but they don't need that at all. I fell behind, but Team Armor Rouge. Oh yeah, that card is crazy. 2-year-old girl and son's due date was last Sunday. Oh, so you got your girl's waiting to pop right now. Anyway, now he's gonna pop out. I want to get a few Japanese booster boxes, but I don't know where to get reliable sealed. I hear it's easy to fake. I mean, but there are a lot of people that sell Japanese, like Poke-NE that we were just talking about, primarily sells Japanese. He sells English as well, but he's always sold Japanese for like a good while now. Do you think in your crystal ball 151 PC and Destined Rivals reach the same price? For me, I think the Destined Rivals PCTV is a much better displayable piece. Just my opinion. Whether it be over the overall community's opinion, I don't know. People will start to talk about the set, but when it comes to a displayable piece, you don't have the set in front of you. What you have is a cardboard box with Snorlax on there, and we have the all red Destined Rivals PCTV with Giovanni and Mewtwo on there. And I think the Destined Rivals one as a displayable piece looks way better. Nobody's gonna rip a PCTV that they get. Like even a Destined Rivals one at $550. I mean, I think you are a fool if you rip one. I mean, you can if you want to, but I don't think that's the smartest thing to do whatsoever.
It's almost like ripping ETVs of Evolving Skies. I mean,
yeah, that's not a good idea. The pull rates are crap, right? You're just asking for it at this point, you know. I'm trying to keep up with these.
I think Evolving Skies packs now are like $50 a pack. So, I mean, that's where the challenge becomes, and why grading is so important, because once the pack price gets to a certain level, people are not ripping the product. So that means the pop count won't keep rising. 2 years ago, there were 137 black labels of the Moonbryon. Now there's 138 2 years ago. So in 2 years, there's only been one additional black label. And I think that's what happens once the packs get so high. You're not going to find gradable copies of that card in a case. You're not. I mean, people who have quality cards are going to already send them to PSA or BGS or CGC. So the only way to get really gradable copies, you have to start ripping packs, and hopefully you pull it, and then you hope it gets its gem. Well, you're talking about pulling a slot machine with a $50 bet every time. that gets very expensive.
Yeah, and you're losing. The house always wins.
Yes.
The house always wins, especially when it comes to that. Like, that's, I don't know, not worth it in my opinion. So and people know what those pull rates were like anyways, and even the pull rates now aren't great. Like, yeah, they're maybe they're better, but they still suck. My daughter can say all the Gen 1 starters by name, and that makes me tear up a bit. Proud Snorlax dad. You know,
Gen 1 is king.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Right now is such a crazy time right now. Especially this week. It's like every day something's happening. And now you're seeing all these buyouts and stuff. How do you crazy?
Well, Jay, I have a unlimited Gengar Hollow WotC Gengar from Fossil that's at being graded right now. I mean, that'll be a big card if it comes back at 10.
What's that? What's that going to be?
I don't even know, but I'm not even thinking about what that would be in a PSA 10, the Fossil Unlimited. I mean, it was a clean. I mean, super clean. I mean, I had to at least give it a try. That may be one of my first big upcharges if it get a 10.
Where'd you even get that?
That LCS I told you about.
Well, how much did you pay for that?
After once I traded into it, I'm like $94.
What?
Yeah, I traded a lot of little cards and.
Yeah, the PSA 10 is at $3K.
Yeah. So
but even at a 9, you're making money.
Yeah, I'll have. If it doesn't get upcharged, I'm still only in the card for about, with grading, it'll be about $150. So
that's crazy. All right, I think I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm still looking at these auctions. They bid up to 1,600 on the 3 Brilliant Stars booster boxes.
That's a great. I mean, I wish I would have bought some of that. I mean, it's a great product. It really. I ripped a lot of. It is a great product.
Market, there's 600 a piece, and right now, currently, they're at 1,600 for the lot of 3. So they're under by 200. So they're about $70-something below market right now at the moment.
How long to on the auction?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, you can go off after you see how they.
Well, I think they have that timer thing now, right? Where if you try to bid within the last like 2 minutes, it starts at 2 minutes back up, doesn't it? And then I have these 2 Lost Origin ones that I'm watching that have an hour and 4 minutes at $12.75, but each box is like really like $7.25. So that'd be $15.50. So this is under by $2.25 as well, something like that, close to what this is under. So one of them is under 200 and one is under by 225. But
the last couple of minutes, boy, it can really run up. I've had some cards that were under what I wanted to sell them for, and in the last 2 minutes, they just. I was like, wow.
You know, things can change, and like I said before, if this doesn't work out and I don't obtain these for the price that I want, then guess what? Now there's other opportunities out there. There's still the prismatic SPC case that I wanted, so maybe I'll get that instead. And this, I'm fine. You know, I didn't get this, but I got that opportunity. You know, like, and also the SPCs did pull back recently. So, Drunk Ninja, what is going on? The Canadian store owner that loves my channel. He is a Canadian store owner. Drunk Ninja. He's got a store in Canada. Too bad it's not in New York. He sells at MSRP when he can. So, and he's been selling.
My favorite non-English card that I have in my collection.
Somebody was actually asking earlier when you left, do you grade Japanese?
It's not a Japanese card. It is the Cubone.
Chinese.
I have that.
That's a nice card,
BGS,
man. That is a nice one.
It is a nice card.
That is a nice one. I'm not gonna lie, that is a nice one.
I think for me, it's probably the best Cubone that's ever been made.
I think so. There are some cool Marowaks though out there too. Cubone is such a cool Pokemon. I'm waiting to see if anything changes in the last 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes here.
Have anyone watched any of the YouTube Pokemon shows that come on, like it's like a Net Geo series for Pokemon? It's some I watched some of those, and it's amazing what AI can do now.
Yeah, I know my coworker is in a little group with a few of his friends, and they're like making movies. They're trying to do some crazy stuff with AI. AI is nuts. Drunk, this is where I'm at, Drunk. We got an auction going on for 2 minutes. Oh, it just went up to 1625. Somebody just went up. But you see how it went back down? I think it goes back down. 1625. So I think it went back up to above 2 minutes when it just updated. So this is what I was just discussing because I brought up the SPCs, and I always bring up and I let you guys know. I haven't made a video since they pulled back, so I haven't been able to make a video about the opportunity because they pulled back below 300 for us for a little while. So I'm looking into this auction at 1625 for these 3 Brilliant Stars booster boxes. And if I'm not happy with this, then I'm just going to look for. Well, I was also looking at this. There's a lot of 2 with the Lost Origin, and then the other option will be the Prismatic SPCs case. And you know, SPCs, those are like great buys.
Don't forget, May the 26th. If you have a Sam's and you want to stand in line, they are.
I have a Sam's account, but I don't have a Sam's close by. Wow, they went back up to 351. Of course they did, because they got bought out today. 648. 648. $648 of these sold today. They were under 300 yesterday. That's crazy.
That's how fast this market moves now when big money is being rolled into.
Yep. This is why I'm saying to people, like, you can't keep up with everything. You know, you can't. You cannot. I just want to see. Let's see. Oh, it went up to 1650. 1836. It jumped from 1650 to 1836 in the last second. You know, there are a lot of things that I don't trust sometimes, and I find it odd that they were going up in increments of 25, and then they went in an increment of like 200.
No, those are snipes. I mean, I've seen it happen to some of my cards. I mean, I had a sports card that was like 30 seconds left and it was $230. I would have been happy for that.
Right. So this one, it was going to be a steal. Like I said, it was going to be 200 on the market for the 3.
But in the last 30 seconds, it went from
And the last 30
235
second,
to 5.
see, and that's one thing that I don't understand, like why people are like that. Like, why would you go to an auction to buy at market? Like, what was the purpose of you buying at that auction if you were going to pay market price in the first place? Right? Like, I don't get it. You should have just let that other person win, right? And get the
Just go
steal
buy it.
and just go buy it. Like, what the hell? I don't understand. Where? I don't know. I feel like I deal with these kind of things in my everyday life.
But I think sometimes what people forget is that there are some people that are holding a large bag or something.
Yeah, it is a great
They
set.
won't allow a product to sell below XYZ because that would impact them. So they'll go in and just buy it because then their bag got bigger and it didn't diminish what they had in price. So
Poke Painter, thank you, brother. Thank you for that. I've never been to a card show, but I think I'm going to one this weekend. I want to sell some cards raw. I heard 70% is what I'll be getting in return. I think a lot of the vendors will pay depending on whether they want your cards or not. They'll buy because you're selling, but they don't, like, a lot of the vendors there aren't going there to buy. They're going there to sell. Understand that as well. So then now when you put them in a position to buy, they really don't want to buy. And now they have the advantage at buying at a percentage because they're not there for that. They don't want them. But if you have like those higher value cards that people actually like, they tend to pay a little more on percentages. So I mean, but then again, remember, you don't have to sell to the first vendor you see. You can work your way around and ask. Ask. Some will do exactly. That's why I said work your way around. People manipulate their own auctions to try and push it higher. Also, yes, I've heard of that as well. That's why I found it a little odd that it was going up in increments of 25, and then it went up 200. Like that was odd, but maybe they bought because they're a very trusted seller. That was Probestein. This is one of the people that have done one of the guys that have done shady stuff actually. So, and one of the things is that I'm pretty sure they've added on to their like they've bid up on their listings.
Jay, I'm gonna have to get off of here. Always enjoy. Let's keep in touch as we usually do on IG, and I'll let you know when some of those cards come in. Hopefully, I get some good grades.
Yeah, man. Of course, I'm going to be talking to you because I want to put together a submission, and I want to try to get that everything like the grade to consignment thing going. So I'm
Okay.
going to be talking to you about that, and getting that started because I have a lot of cards, man. Like a lot of cards here that I don't really care for. I do have some that I want to grade and keep for myself, but then I have a ton that I don't want at all. That
Right.
I have like no love for. So
But just hit me up when you can, and hey, you be blessed, my brother, and stay safe out there.
you too, brother. Thank you for stopping by, man.
No
Always welcome,
problem.
man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks. Have a good night, brother. Concept, what's going on? Hey, Jay, thanks for keeping me occupied at work. Finally able to contribute to the chat. I know the SBC is going to hit Costco and Sam's, but something I noticed about Costco and Newest and the Heroes 3-pack that coming is limit of 1. Wonder if they're going to do that for the SBC at Costco as well. The SBC is a bigger item. I wouldn't be surprised if they do 1, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they do 2. One of the last times that I did see that they were talking about the back of the website having these loaded up, it was 2. It was a set of 2. So we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully, they do give us 2 of them. Actually, I bought a Leafeon SAR from Prismatic today at 90%. Yeah, I mean, look, they're all going to be different, right? I mean, a lot of these, like I said, I think it's why I talk about greed. It's at an all-time high, and people don't want to let go of. Yeah, I've seen some wild stuff. Like I've seen videos and I experienced it firsthand on Whatnot, because on Whatnot you could actually find yourself some like really good deals. And I was actually yesterday, I was looking for a card on Whatnot from one of the guys that I do trust on there that sell like a good amount. But I'm looking for the Southern Islands Togepi, right? My fiance loves that card. I think that as of right now is her second favorite card. The other one is the Togepi, Igglypuff, and Cleffa GX from the collection box. That's her by far favorite. But second to that is probably the Southern Islands Togepi. And um, I got the card, and as I continue to mess around with Whatnot, somebody was like, "Yeah, I know what last comps were, and I know what market is, but this is vintage, and vintage is just going up right now. It's literally just taking off, and yeah, I'm not selling it for less than this." And it was like $100 above like last sold. Like that's nuts. For you to try to tell me that like, and this is the market being greedy. And whether they're selling on Whatnot or as a vendor, I don't think anybody's gonna stop you from being a vendor, just like nobody's gonna stop you from selling on Whatnot. Like there's really no difference aside from you being there in person. And so the greed is the same amongst human beings overall. When it comes to those that are greedy, if functions the same way. They don't want to let go of a little bit. They'll take advantage of the market whenever they can. And yeah, it's just crazy. But that's not only happening on Whatnot. I've seen videos of people experiencing that at shows where they're telling them, listen, this is vintage. Vintage has been insane right now. And even though that's last sold and that's market, I'm not selling below this price. And so it's sad to be honest, because it's just like the market is at an all-time high and it's bullish. We're all, like greed is also there. You know, greed is an all-time high right now. It's just like it's sad. Yeah, Rev always contributing in many different ways. I think I got that tag team today. Which one? The promo? Yeah, my fiance loves that one. I want to buy that one for her next. I just want to buy a good copy, like a good quality copy. I don't want to buy a damaged card. Like who wants a damaged card? You know what I mean? Like I really want one though, like really bad. I was almost gonna buy the collection box as a gift for her, even though it is expensive. I was gonna try to buy it at some point and have her rip it because she loves ripping as well, like I do. But then I saw the packs in there, and the packs suck. So there's no point in buying the box. At some point I'll be looking. I mean, even if I find one now, I might buy the card if I find a good copy. Whatnot is just bad. Deleted it real quick. Yeah, I don't blame you. I've had good success on there though. I've had like guys like treat me well. There's a guy named Rare Candy. He's a short, like Asian. I think he's Filipino. Glasses. Uh, Decently like long hair, like up to here. He has an Instagram. It's Rare Candy something. I forgot what it's called. But he's Rare Candy on Whatnot as well. And I'll literally ask him for a card. That's a 10. Like I would pick out cards that he's selling. Remember, he's trying to make money, and I'll have him let me know what can 10. Like from his point of view, because he can see scratches, he can see damage to the hollow foil, lifted edges that maybe you can't see on a camera. And he will literally, I have picked out a bunch of like 10 cards, all valuable cards, whether they be 30, 50, 70, whatever. And out of that 10, I ended up with two, only two, because the other ones weren't 10 worthy. And he was honest. And so some people are really good on there, to be honest. You're going to deal with, just like you deal with people who aren't great on Whatnot, you're going to deal with them in person if you try to go, you know, reputation is very important when selling. Yeah. It sucks because Whatnot just makes it easier for people to be at that, to have like that platform, because you could do it from home. Like I could start up on Whatnot right here. But to vend, you got to buy your cases and stuff, and you got to buy aside from buying everything else like the cards, you got to buy your cases, you got to buy whatever you need there if you're going to record, set yourself up, you got to get up, you got to travel, you got to do a lot more work to get to be a vendor than you do to be a Whatnot streamer. And you get the same outcome in reality, aside from developing reputations with people like in person. um but you see a lot of what you see there in person. Like it sucks to say, but the people on Whatnot are still people. And you don't have like a different type of people and whatnot than you do in person. Like people are just people. And there are people who are greedy, and then there are those who are not. There are those who will treat you well, who will, take care of you, and then there are those that won't, and you'll find them whether you're vending or at a show or whatnot. So sucks, but that is the reality of all this, like, yep. Trying to look to see where this set of Lost Origin boxes is at. I really wanted that lot of 3 on Brilliant Stars, man, and it's gone. Somebody threw $200 on top. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a fake, but we'll see. Let's see if there's anything else that pops up for Brilliant, because I really wanted some Brilliant. Like I want Lost Origin, but I really feel like I want Brilliant more. Like that trainer gallery is just so good, to be honest. Like, man, wow. They also have 2 Destined Rivals booster boxes at 11:45 with 17 minutes left. That's barely on the market for something that is incredibly new. I will never buy that. Anything else? No more Brilliant. No more Brilliant right now. A lot of 10 prismatic ETBs for $16.50. Yeah. You said you have a Discord, right? I haven't joined any yet for a bunch of tubers. Yeah, I do have a Discord. It's in the description if you really want to join. You do not have to. If you do click on it, let me know if the link works, because sometimes you have to refresh it. I'm just looking on my phone because sometimes people join. I get the notification. I'm just looking at other stuff that's available now on Probustein's listings here, and there's a lot of things. Prismatic ETBs, more 8 for $12.60 right now. That's not a bad deal right now. Yeah, there's a lot moving. There's a lot of 4 Silver Tempest booster boxes that won't. Yeah, none of this is ending anytime soon. All right, so it's either these 2 Lost Origin booster boxes or a case of SPC, prismatic SPCs. I want to get a Ascendant Heroes booster bundle display, but Lord, set 1900 is just too much. I would rather put that money elsewhere. You know what's messed up? That like price that appeared out of nowhere for 1900 or 2K like happened on eBay, and Probustein was one of those guys that started that pricing up. I am 1,000. Of course, they didn't get it for that price. They definitely didn't get it for that price, but they had no problem listing it for that price. And now everybody sells them for that price for something that should have took some time to age. Like, I know it's a good set, but it should have took some time. Let me see. Yeah, but I think I'm going to be hopping off, guys. It's already 10:44, and I have not had dinner, sadly. I would love to stay and hang out and chat, but I also got something to be up for early tomorrow, so. Yep, it worked. Joined for when I get the itch to nerd out about Pokemon outside of my own business network. Got you, brother. Thank you for joining. Guys, this guy never contacted me on Instagram. This guy lost that giveaway is done. I'm gonna redo the giveaway on my next video. I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow or Saturday. It could be either or. I'm assuming probably tomorrow. This guy never contacted me on Instagram, so I am redoing the giveaway. So somebody else is going to end up getting the prismatic ETB. Sorry, the wow, yeah, that's me because I'm tired. The destined ETB. Drunk, thank you for stopping by. As always, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Have a good night. Fino, same to you, brother. You're always chiming in and helping out in Discord. Thank you. Bonks, thank you for being here, brother. Like all these guys, thank you so much. Jamie, same thing. Same to you, brother. Thank you. Be safe, guys. Don't go crazy. Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow I will run it again tomorrow. I mean, I could run it right now. It won't really matter. But I don't want to run it right now and tell you guys because I'd rather just announce it in the video. It's chances are that it's not somebody that's in here right now since there's like almost 400 comments. I think 190 is what I was saying that matter. I mean, 15 is I mean, I guess it's not even 10% of what's in there, but yeah, you got to go to that the video where I talk about the things that I'm going to be targeting in May. It's like I think I put it up last Friday. So go to that video and watch the video. If I win, that's going in the PC. We should be getting more coming to the market, bro. So maybe if you win it, you'll get more at MSRP and rip this one and pull a Mewtwo. Who knows? Have a good one. You too, brother. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. I'll try to go live at some point this weekend again. I think Sunday night was fun. Maybe I'll do Sunday night because Saturday night I already know it's a no-go. I'm going to be going out Saturday night. So maybe Sunday night. Hopefully the day just works out and I get to stream. So Benny, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Damn, I guess I have to enter the giveaway till they forgot to enter the last one. Yeah, it was on that video on Friday, where it says like May. Let me see. Where's my? I don't even have YouTube pulled up at all. If I go to my channel, videos, so it's this video right here. This is the video. So hop into that video, and you can find out how to win yourself an ETB if you get lucky. That's for sure. Good luck to all you guys, because I do hope that it's somebody who's been like around, because that guy actually, that was his one and only comment on the channel. The one and only comment on the channel. And it was clear that the comment he even put in there was to win. And yeah, never showed up. And like I said, I'm not going to at somebody and tag you for the giveaway that you should be around for if you are supporting a channel that's giving that away. So that's too bad for him. But maybe one of you guys will get it. But yeah, guys, with that being said, it's been fun. I am actually tired and hungry. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Thank you for being here, guys. I had a lot of fun. If I could, I'd be on for longer. All right, guys. I'll see you guys. Take care. Peace.